Baltimore Ravens into Jerry World, a kick you can catch live right here on San Antonio Sports Star at 2:30. College football, Texas A&M welcomes Bowling Green into College Station. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody! Happy Friday! Friday, am I right?
Friday.
Huh? Am I right?
Isn't there a song?
Friday! We need to get that Rebecca Black song.
No, we don't.
Listen, my whole radio career, I've just played this song on Friday. It's the way to come into a Friday show. Nothing gets you in the mood for, football and beer and potential sex like that song. And that's what's coming in the weekend, right? That's what you got going this weekend.
All of those.
Yes, and guns.
Well,
now the guns and the sex we're separating.
Well, we're hoping. If we're doing it right.
Yeah, otherwise it becomes a crime.
Yeah, we might be hunting this weekend. We got football. We had football last night. I'm feeling very much at home. All we need now is a cold front. Ooh, and then life would be...
That's going to be so nice. So nice. When I was a kid, I used to hate when a cold front would come through.
And I say cold front, just,
like
not 80
football weather is what you're asking for.
5% humidity and 90 degrees.
You're just asking for football weather. Fall football weather. Texas football weather.
75.
It ain't too much to ask.
And we've seen it already. You knew it was going to be a brief, but I think it's supposed to be back soon. But other than that, man,
hey, we got rules about what we can wear in our studio here. We got to have collared shirts, except for Vic. He doesn't have to, apparently.
Well, he's got that beach attire.
Yeah, he dresses
ready for the wharf.
Yeah, must be nice. Dresses like he's about to go fishing.
Yep.
What are we gonna do come winter time, like when it's hoodie season?
I think the hoodies count as a collar.
Okay.
I think that the general concern is just don't look like you rolled out of bed. And I get the sense that
which is such BS.
The longer we're in this,
such BS.
Well, it's kind of like when you get a new car. You get a new car, no drinks in the car. Oh, yeah. Kids, there will be no food or drink in the car. And then you're thirsty.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, nothing gets left in the car. And then a bottle gets left. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, no eating. And then you're hungry. And then next thing you know, you got fries on the floorboard. Your car smells vaguely of an old burrito. Things just kind of sagging. It'll get comfortable again.
Cigarette hole in the upholstery on the roof.
And life happens. Still in good shape. Nothing wrong with the vehicle. It's just not pristine.
Yeah.
Eventually, they will I get the sense that they'll realize that we're just radio guys doing TV stuff.
Yeah. It just feels like, this is why I signed up for radio. Was to look like a slob.
Or to just do it.
Right?
Radio.
I wanted to come to work and look like a hobo. Like, what is that too much to ask?
And I get, dress for work, dress for the job you want, not the one.
This is the job I want.
So I get that, but we've attained that status.
I don't know. What do I got to do to get Vic's job?
I don't know.
Want some strawberries?
No, Vic. We can't eat in our studio. Must be nice for you to be able to eat in there.
We can't eat in our studio, Vic.
Must be nice for you to just sit in there.
Wink, wink.
With no collar on your shirt, just eating strawberries.
Like the king of all radio.
You know what we're allowed?
Nothing.
An unlabeled jug.
I don't even have that.
You have one, actually, in your in the office.
I'm afraid to drink out of it.
Why?
Because as usual, I left it for days on it. And I looked in, and there was something growing, and it scared me. So I left it in there. Now I figure if I leave it closed in a dark area, eventually what's in there will die, and then I'll blast furnace it out.
You're just gonna throw the whole cup away. You're like,
it scared me when I opened that up.
It was like a week. I know. What was I gonna do?
That's why they make these things out of metal, right? I can sterilize it. I can heat it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, run in the dishwasher, I think.
I'm just not good at that kind of stuff.
At putting dirty dishes in the dishwasher?
Well, here. It's not at home. At home, I'm under orders. There's here. If I bring a coffee mug or a cup or anything like that, I'm going to not wash it and eventually it'll get thrown away. I learned that a long time ago. It's just.
This is your escape, is why, because you, like, here, there's no one to tell you what to do.
I guess.
So you're like, you know what, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do.
I'm just going to slack-ass my way.
I'm not going to flush the toilet. I'm not
I'm not that guy. And I'll tell you what, there's a limited number of suspects in this building.
Somebody is that
but
guy
there
here, I can
is
tell you
somebody in this building early on does not understand the flush method of one of our bathrooms.
It ain't that big of a deal.
Consistent. Not me. Well, there's only like 8 or so in the building.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's about 8 of us.
And there's the culprit. One of us, it's like a Sherlock Holmes. One of us is the killer. Now we're all gonna gather in a room.
And Rob, the other day, all 3 of us had to pee at the same time. Like we're like women who hang out. And our cycles get lined up.
Well, spot breaks all.
It's because of the lunar patterns and there's a lot that goes into it. But we all had to pee at the same time, and Vic gets in first, so he's at the urinal, and then Rob passes the next toilet and goes to the end, leaving me the toilet that's already been peed in.
Yes, I looked over and I saw, well, that's a yellow pool. I'll move on.
Yeah. So I had
culprit in this building.
Now I had to flush somebody else's piss and then flush my own.
You got to double flush when you see that. You can't.
I don't want to flush somebody else's stuff. That's not my job to do that.
Flush it with your foot.
That's what I always do.
Yeah, never touch it.
No.
I could karate kick my way through a bathroom.
Yeah, man. I don't know why people in our business are generally gross. They really are.
We really are.
Oh yeah.
I'm not.
No, we all are.
One way or another.
We all have, because we all have spent way too much time in these studios because they feel almost like home. So you treat them and you do things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like when I'm at home, I flush the toilet.
Well, yeah.
That's reasonable. When I'm at home, if my dishes are dirty, I just wash them.
Now, I've spent some time in some California homes that are like, if you pee, don't flush. We're conserving water.
Well,
that's horrible.
I don't know.
I would move.
I don't know if people that conserve water in California, they just drink up all of Las Vegas's water.
They just don't want Vegas to have it. That's why.
I know that much. Although, you know what? You can say that's gross, but then I know in South Texas, there are people who don't flush toilet paper. So,
Oh, yeah.
Dude, if I go to
the trash can.
If I go to a rest stop and or a bathroom and there's a trash can next to the toilet, I'm just like, I'm not going in there. Yep. I don't want anything to do with that.
Nope. Yeah.
That's a cultural thing, I believe.
It is.
And you do that at your house?
No.
You guys flush the toilet paper.
First world plumbing around here. We don't have to worry about it.
My mother-in-law.
I think they even have it down there. They're just so used to it now. They're like, whatever.
When I first met my wife, my mother-in-law's bathroom was that. They don't flush the toilet paper. So you go in the bathroom.
That's crazy.
And you just see the toilet paper there like,
no.
I'm out of
here. No. Dude.
I'm not doing this.
No.
Dude.
Yeah, I flushed mine. I was like, I don't know if you have a septic tank
Sorry if I broke your plumbing
but
by me not being a disgusting, vile person.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, sorry for my people. We do that, but we do that. Not me, but yeah.
I mean, I get allegedly not Vic. He says not me, but I don't know. I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
I use the wipes like you do. If we go somewhere, I always carry some Clorox wipes in a little package so I can wipe the seat.
You're cleaning.
I do that here.
What if you get confused and you use the Clorox on your body?
Oh, I won't.
That'll wake you up in the morning.
Oh, yeah, that'll wake you up.
Because imagine you had blonde booty hair.
Speaking of...
Or if you just shave, it burns.
It's bleached. Well, that's
when
cute.
You just shave, it burns.
When your beehole looks like M&M.
Like, wow. Well, you frosted the tips. That's pretty impressive. You knew I was coming over.
Oh, boy. We have a lot of fun stuff planned for you today. Dude, you know what? Oh, God. I've got to stay on clock today.
Well, just in the 6 a.m.
Vic's wife works at a store that we won't name.
We won't name the brand name.
Yeah.
But she caught someone stealing yesterday.
Yeah. It was bad.
And called the police.
Yep.
And Vic sent the video of the police making contact with this shoplifter. It was a gal, skinny gal.
Yeah.
And apparently she was so nervous about this interaction with the police that she pooped all over the floor right there in the middle of the store.
I couldn't believe it either.
I mean, I don't even know how, because she didn't move her pants at all. She just like
I have so many.
It just happened, and it was like
and I
all
thought
over
about
the
it.
floor.
I knew you guys were at lunch, and I'm like, do I send it to them now? Like, are they
of
eating?
Course. Of course you do.
Well, I didn't know when I first saw. I thought, wow, I wonder where that happened. I didn't realize
That was my wife.
you were in the middle of what should be a viral video.
Right.
We went to what Rob calls an RMR, a random Mexican restaurant yesterday, and their bathroom is so small. I went.
Oh man.
Barely above health department
I went
standards.
to the bathroom. I had to pee, and you have to get a key because it's around the outside of the
Did you
building.
have to stand sideways?
Legit, no. I was like, my back was against the wall, and I was like, I was pushing my ass against the wall, like I was trying to break through the wall to make sure that I didn't, pee on the back of the toilet. And I started thinking, like, there's maybe 6 inches of clearance between the end of the bowl and the wall. So, like,
oh wow.
if you've got to poop,
You're screwed.
you're gonna be like,
Well,
knees up. It's gonna
Good
be
luck
an
with that.
issue.
well,
And then a cleanup. Good luck. Like once
You-
you're done.
well, no, you got to tell the whole. You get up and you're gonna go to the bathroom and you go to the front area, and I just see you walk outside. I just see you get up and leave, and he's gone for like minutes.
Well, yeah, there was a guy in there.
You're gonna have to go across the street and tell him we sent you. The second house over on the right. Just say you're coming from the restaurant, and we'll see in a little bit because you were gone.
That was the worst.
Where'd he go?
So I go outside, and there's a guy who is walking away from the bathroom, and he like kind of pulls the door shut, but doesn't pull it all the way, so it swings back open.
Okay.
And I was like, "Do you have the key?" And I just want to make sure that I was able to give the key back to the people. And he was like, "No, there's someone in there." So I just assumed this was like a
unisex,
like a double door situation.
Yeah, okay.
No, this dude didn't pull the door shut all the way, and there's some old Mexican grandpa in there taking a dump, and like the dude didn't pull the door shut.
So just left the door open to the street.
Oh man.
So I pull the door shut, and the guy comes out, and he's like, "Thank you, man, thank you."
Reach
I'm
in,
like,
turn the light off, and lock the door.
Saved the day.
I know, man.
Well, maybe he was airing it out.
He
doing
reached
you a
out to
favor.
shake my hand, and I was like, "No, I'm good, man. I'm good."
Maybe he was doing you a
Let's do
favor.
the elbow bump, penguin bump. All right. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Jets and Aaron Rodgers, the show that they put on last night, or that the Patriots didn't put on. We'll talk about that, and at 6:45, we'll have Coach Mike McCarthy of the Dallas Cowboys on our little program. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. What's on?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Let's see what our own Reverend Charles has to say about reparation.
Oh, Lord. I've preached this sermon many times. If you want your reparations, I hope you get it. Because commandment number 6 is thou shalt not covet what thy neighbor have, and don't look at his wife, and don't look at his wife's ass neither.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star. This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit diamondsdirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
The Gomez Law Firm has been helping injured victims in car and trucking accidents for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here. Jose, if someone finds themselves faced with the stress of an accident, what next?
Well, the first thing they should do is pick up the phone, call the Gomez Law Firm, or Google JoeGomezLaw.com.
The Gomez Law Firm is the leader in personal injury law. If you have been in an accident, you need a firm that will fight for you and your family's rights.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years.
The Gomez Law Firm fights for you against the big insurance companies and wins. Tell us about some other cases you represent.
Really, anything that involves a personal injury and a third party that is responsible for causing that injury, we will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have found yourself faced with a personal injury matter, if you've been in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then it's important to call the Gomez Law Firm today. Visit JoeGomezLaw.com.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Paramount Plus is once again your home to stream the NFL on CBS. Follow all the action and stream your live local NFL on CBS game every Sunday, all the way through the AFC Championship. Sign up, sign in, and start streaming Paramount Plus today.
The UTSA Roadrunners are back home in the Alamo Dome this Saturday against Houston Christian. It's the UTSA Roadrunners Hispanic Heritage Game and Salute to First Responders Game. Bring your family, bring your friends, and join the fun as we cheer on our UTSA Roadrunners to victory. Tickets start at just $21. It's our UTSA Roadrunners hosting the Houston Christian Huskies this Saturday in the Dome. Kickoff is at 2:30. Visit GoUTSA.com to secure your seats now. UTSA football. It's more than a game. It's an experience.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust new Febreze car vent clips, now with 3 times greater scent control, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with new Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing, which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs.
Picking up! Oscar! Time is of the essence with COVID-19. Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Learn more at treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Save money on your next oil change with O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get a $10 gift card after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for just $35.95. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. I'm one of 5 million active members. I play every day because you know why? It's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports because I get to use my knowledge and apply it to win some serious money. And as a player, they invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if your pick don't hit. You can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with just as simple 4 correct picks. It is that easy to play. You can have fun. It's simple. It's a great playing experience, and you can use your knowledge. How well is Tyreek Hill going to do this week? How is Dak Prescott going to play? If you know, you go play. It's Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code Alamo and get $50 instantly when you play. That's code Alamo on Prize Picks. You get $50 instantly when you play just 5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back. I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle 94.1. Aaron Rodgers. Look at this.
Look out.
I did a video, I don't know, a couple weeks ago after week 1 saying I think Aaron Rodgers is washed. I still believe Aaron Rodgers is washed. I think him being like an elite quarterback, those days are gone. He has a good game against the New England Patriots, and I got people commenting, how's this take aging? How's this one holding up? Ha, 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 ha. Aaron Rodgers just beat the Patriots. Suck on that, Bubba.
Dude, what else do you need to see? He's mobile. He's throwing lasers. It didn't matter who the defense was. I mean, I think you better look out, man. The dude's walking around, and the thing about him was post-game, they even mentioned it, that Aaron Rodgers smirk, where when he looks like he knows something everybody else doesn't. I'm telling you, look out, man. This is warming up.
Well, 24 points. Yeah, juggernaut.
Well, in this NFL and this year, when this is a rushing NFL, we've had a throwing quarterback last night. I'm not saying it's going to be like this for the rest of the year, but I am. If you're playing Aaron Rodgers, you now have to account for all that Aaron Rodgers was over the last 5 years. Not what he was 10 years ago, but I think you better be concerned, AJ. I really do.
Credit where it's due. He was better than Jacoby Brissett yesterday.
Low bar, but
boy, poor Jacoby Brissett. This guy is, I realized it last night. He's being paid to just go out there and try not to die. It's like, hey man, we need. we need someone to go out there and just get the crap beat out of them every single game. And, we got to do 17 of these things. So if you can hold up, that's awesome. We'll pay you a lot of money. And he's like, all right.
Doesn't that define a bridge quarterback, though? I mean, that's what you get paid to be, because if they're looking for the next one, they got more than just quarterback problems. You know what I mean?
The Patriots' offensive line is so dreadful. It was a joke, essentially. I'm trying to, how many sacks did they end up with? I want to say 7. I don't want to give you the wrong number, though.
It was right in there.
They had 7 total sacks in the game. And the Jets should be investigated for criminal behavior, or the Patriots should be, because at the end of that game, in a blowout game, they put Drake May in there behind that offensive line and said, go for it, man. What?
Well, I think they waited till the backups hit. I really do. At that point, I think that the game was done. I mean, did Drake even get hit?
Yes, he got sacked twice.
Oh, did he get sacked twice?
Yeah.
Welcome to the NFL, baby.
Threw the ball 8 times, got sacked twice. What's funny is, he had some decent-looking throws. He moved the ball a little bit, but just a pathetic showing by the Patriots offense. The Patriots finished the game with 139 yards of offense. 139. They had 11 first downs on the night, and they possessed the ball for under 20 minutes in the game, which means the Jets had it, if you do the quick math there, for over 40 minutes of football. The under was never in doubt. I'm mad that I bet the stupid Patriots instead of the under. I at least should have bet both, where I would have only lost $10. But
post game, who is more what you thought they were, the Jets or the Patriots?
The Patriots. The Patriots. This is what I expected from the Patriots at the start of the season. I expected, okay, you've got a backup quarterback behind a terrible offensive line. You've got no downfield weapons. This team should never move the ball, and they didn't. So I got sucked in because it was like, man, the Patriots were feisty the first couple weeks, and they weren't feisty yesterday. I think maybe Jacoby Brissett's body's breaking down from the abuse.
But you don't give any credit to the Jets defense.
Oh, I do give credit to the Jets. The Jets played a great game yesterday, offensively and defensively. But if you're saying who looked more like I expected, it's the Patriots.
I don't think the Patriots are as bad as we saw last night. I really don't. I think that they ran into a quick turnaround with a young team and a coach that's never had to do this before. They just didn't look ready. They looked flat. They didn't look ready. They looked like the Cowboys did last Sunday with more excuses to do that. But on the other side, that Jets defense, man, I know that line is terrible, but they weren't terrible last week.
No.
That was more impressive to me than what I saw from Aaron. The defense, the play calls, the activity level, that was a top echelon defense, and against a bad team with really no threat in the air. I was more impressed with that defense than anything else I saw. The Aaron Rodgers thing, he's going to have days like that. He's that good, but there's going to be other times when they hem him in, and we're going to have to really prove to me. He's going to have to prove again that he can stand in the pocket, take a hit, and deliver the ball downfield. Yesterday he had room to move and threw lasers. But the defense was what separated. I thought that should have been the keynote for this team should be that defense, even though they let a couple guys walk. And if it is for the rest of the season, look out, AFC. I mean, they're not a Super Bowl team, but I wouldn't want to play against Aaron in a playoff game, especially after the way he's finding Garrett. And he even brought it up. Once Lazard and him get on the same page, this offense might get even better.
The thing to keep in mind, though, they lost to the 49ers. They got blown out by the 49ers. And then they beat the Titans and the Patriots.
Oh, no.
Two teams
this is
that we
a
had
10-win
no
team.
expectations of.
The highest ceiling is 10 wins. I'm not saying this is a great football team. But what I am saying is this is not a team that if you slip an inch, they'll beat you. I mean, you're going to have to bring in everything you've got to beat the Jets. And in the AFC, the way that it's shaken out, you can't afford to lose. You got to have to bring it every week, and the Jets are going to knock somebody out. They're going to take a team out because they're capable now, as long as nobody gets hurt. But they are just – it's a fine line on that offense. The defense is what's going to keep them competitive this year, and if they can continue to get after the quarterback like that, look out. I think there's a couple teams need to be nervous over the next month.
I'm going to look up during the break. I might still bet the Jets to miss the playoffs.
Oh, I don't again, it's such a rock fight. The separate between second, and I'm still going to put the Kansas City up there with a skate, but between second and fourth, shoot, not much at all. And fourth and out, not much either. I mean, these little pivotal games like this against a team like the Jets, which you got to take lightly last year, you can't as long as Aaron's running around. This is what I see happening. They're going to do Buffalo a favor. The Jets are going to do a Buffalo a favor somewhere down the road. They're going to beat somebody that's competing with Buffalo to get a division title, and the Jets will beat them.
All right, we'll continue this conversation on the other side, and then we'll bring in head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, it is a football Friday, and of course that means we're at a high school football stadium.
Absolutely. Getting ready for the great football weekend. We'll talk Aggies with Andrew Monaco. He will join us at 3:35.
Then we've got John Machota with The Athletic at 5:15 to talk Cowboys football as they get set for the Baltimore Ravens.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Train heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
George gets justice. After being hit by an 18-wheeler, the experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Connecticut Quality Water Softeners, they are studs of water softeners, that's for sure. Got one in my house, and I tell you what, it is really a game changer. There's no question about it. I didn't think there would be a difference, but there is. Connecticut is absolutely the best. Look, Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. Their products are made in America, and you know as well as I do, you live in San Antonio and South Texas, boy, a water softener is a must because the water is hard. It can do a lot of damage, and why not have the best? Give them a call at 656-PURE, 656-7873, because when you do that, they're going to put a Connecticut quality water softener in your home for 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. You heard me right. 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. If you don't like it after 90 days, they'll come take it out. You don't owe them a dime. Call Connecticut. You won't regret it. 656-PURE, 656-7873, or ConnecticutSA.com.
Paid for by Hims & Hers Health. Hims & Hers Weight Loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at forhers.com apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
Everyone's talking about the breakthrough of weight loss drugs, but too few can access or afford them. Hers is changing that. At forhers.com/afford, you can access doctor-trusted weight loss plans tailored to you, like GLP-1 weekly injections with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy or oral medications. Through Hers, treatment options can be prescribed 100% online. A medical provider on our platform can determine if a weight loss plan is right for you, and if prescribed, your personalized plan ships free directly to your door. All for as little as $79 a month with a 5-month subscription for oral medications and $199 a month with a 12-month subscription for GLP-1s. No hidden fees, no access fees, and no membership fees. Get started at forhers.com/afford. That's forhers.com/afford. forhers.com/afford.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids.
Faster! I'd rather play catch with my dog than catch pneumococcal pneumonia.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20 pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine.
a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. If you are 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease or asthma, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'd rather race for some ice cream. Let's go.
Schedule your vaccination today at Prevnar20.com.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown, and he throws a block, and his teammate scores instead. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hey, Cowboys fans, want to kick off tailgate season with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, Rowdy, and a Dallas Cowboys legend? Stop by the HEB, located in the Brooks Corner Shopping Center at 3323 Southeast Military Drive in San Antonio from 9 a.m. to noon on Saturday, September 28th. You'll even have a chance to enter to win tickets to an upcoming Dallas Cowboys home game, as well as tour the Hall of Fame bus and more. Don't miss out as we roll into town for the Dallas Cowboys tailgate tour presented by HEB.
Testosterone plays a significant role in regulating fat metabolism and distribution in the body. It also helps to reduce serious health risks down the line. I'm Manny with Rock's Discount Vitamins, and we carry the highest quality natural testosterone boosters on the market. It immediately provides you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improves your mood. With 11 San Antonio area locations, find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for all the support.
Football season is here. Hi, Jason Minix here from The Blitz. You want to have more fun watching football this year? Play the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy. Over 1 million fans got in the game last year by making picks on Underdog. You can join in and win up to 325 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats. I know I made a lot of money last year playing at Underdog Fantasy on the Pick'em game. You too can as well. And it's easy to get signed up. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download their mobile app. Use my promo code STAR and Underdog will give you a highly discounted pick to use on your first Pick'em entry, plus a first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Promo code STAR to claim your new customer offer of a gimme first pick and your deposit offer when you get signed up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or go to ncpgambling.org.
Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. That's progressive.com/careers.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah, the Jets, it's going to be a long season for if you can't pass block, it's going to be a long season for you. And the Patriots it's going to be a long season for the Patriots. The Jets had their way last night. 7 sacks. You're not going to win many games. You get sacked 7 times.
You wonder how much of that was. No, Jacoby he saw his receivers. He just couldn't plant his feet. It wasn't a lack of communication or not seeing guys that were open. It was a defensive game coached by a good defense that should have done exactly what they did to a bad football team.
Is your mic on in there, Edwin?
I think
that's my mic. There we go. You got to turn your mic off, otherwise we hear you dialing the phone. There we go. All right, we got it now. Yeah, I don't want to. I've been on record as a non-Jets believer. I got to give credit where it's due. They looked really good last night.
It's a bad team.
Aaron Rodgers made the throw that he made to Garrett Wilson was about as good of a throw as you'll see, and it had to be right there. Otherwise, it's picked off. And the Patriots have about one good player, and he's the guy that was covering Garrett Wilson all night and did his best. But, man, it's tough. The Patriots, there's just no – like Ramondre Stevenson is probably their best offensive player. And Ramondre Stevenson he's just a guy. Like he's not crappy. That's
a guy. All of New England. That's all. Yeah.
He's a serviceable NFL running back. And that's all they've got. They don't have any downfield weapons. No. It's going to be a long-ass year for the Patriots.
Belichick could get by with a regular guy in the right place at the right time for a long time. And that's why he's gone, because he lost the ability, and having Tom Brady helped, of putting the regular guy in the right place at the right time.
Well, he was also responsible for drafting those guys.
That's what I'm saying. He brought this place down.
I mean, he raised him up, he brought him down. What he did his job. Nobody's ever going to look back on the Belichick era and go,
but that's how it ends. It always ends that way.
You're right. Rarely do guys leave when they're on top of the world. Nick Saban, Nick Saban left things looking pretty good at Alabama.
Yeah,
it is a rare thing. You usually got to drag these guys out of here kicking.
Well, when you predicate your success on one dude, the end will be evident, and it was. And when Saban predicated his success on process is greatness in, even greater out. And Belichick was always about what's your term for teams that have a couple of stars and everybody else?
Stars and scrubs.
Stars and scrubs. Well, Belichick invented that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was literally, we'll pay 5 dudes. Everybody else, you got one job to do. I'm going to make sure you're always in the right place at the right time. And when you no longer can do that job, I'll find another veteran on a league minimum to do that very same thing.
And eventually Belichick didn't pay anybody. And it was like, you don't want to be here? Fine, go somewhere else. See how it works out for you. And you know what? It was successful. I don't know what New England's going to have to do to get this thing right. They're a long way away from being even remotely competitive the way it looks right now.
You brought it up, watching Jacoby just get smashed for 3.5 quarters and then bringing in a rookie. Watching the dichotomy of how rookies have been handled this year has probably been as interesting as any other year, as we watch Bryce get pulled, just yanked, and then in the worst possible time, you got a team that is underwater and drowning. You got Ryans bringing in his prize rookie, and absolutely under duress. And I think he did it, to see it get his rookie out there. But I think he felt like his team was falling asleep, that they had given up the ghost, the game was over. And I think he was just trying to turn the tide to get a New England team kind of enthused about what was going on out there, because they were sleepwalking by the time.
Getting your rookie's ass kicked, is that going to wake him up? That's tough.
It's interesting as we watch, and the discussion for 10 days was how they just destroyed one quarterback, and then you got a head coach throwing one into what is already a flaming dumpster fire.
All right, let's go to the Buyers Brigade hotline where we have the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys joining us here on the Morning Huddle. Good morning, Coach Mike McCarthy. How are you, sir?
Doing well. How's it going, AJ? Rob here?
Rob is here as well.
Coach.
Yeah, we're doing great, Coach.
Yeah.
Thanks for getting up with us early today. It's probably been a long week for you. There hadn't been a lot of these where you guys have just been whooped. What's been the feeling around the Star this week? How's everybody? Is it more like this is a one-off, or I assume after one loss, there's no signs of panic in your locker room?
Yeah, no, not at all. I think clearly when you have games where, particularly you get down by a couple scores and and then it shifts and you can't get the momentum back. You have to really take a step back and just always go through the evaluation of the film. I think it's critical to come in regardless of the outcome on Sunday and have a very detailed evaluation process on Monday, and that's what we do, win or lose, and it gives you clarity on specifically how you're going to work moving forward. I mean, if you sit there and wrestle around with all the emotion and so forth, you don't have clarity in the things you really need to work on. And at the end of the day, this game's about fundamentals. We all understand that fundamentals are maybe not going to quite be where you want them to be in September. Some teams are a little further ahead than others in particular areas, but you have to get that thing evaluated. You got to get the focal points, in place, and because you always apply what you did in the last contest to the future game plan, and that's really how it went down. So we had a very open, honest, accountable team meeting, and we call it Tell the Truth Monday. So just to make sure, and to be honest with you, it's a bigger concern for me when you win those kind of games, because you don't want anybody to take their foot off the gas and go, "Whoo, hey man, we're pretty damn good." And frankly, just we've got way too much love for Week 1. Frankly, I didn't think we played that well in Cleveland. I mean, we had some great moments in Cleveland, and we're able to jump on them and get out in front, but there was plenty to clean up in that game. So. I think you just got to keep in touch with that on Mondays, and that's how it went this week.
Yeah, the clarity of getting your ass kicked. You can wake up and not make any excuses for anything. And I do like the idea of that clarity. Let's talk about your offensive line. It just doesn't look like your typical offensive line, Coach. Is it a lot of it? Obviously, you got some young guys, and you know how preseason now is kind of truncated and you can't get the work in. Can you blame a lot of that on just the way that preseason is now, that you just don't get the time with your offensive line? And what's next to get the coordination that you're so good at finding your line? What's next to get them there?
Oh, I think it's part of the process, and and I think like anything, I mean, if we're going to highlight the negatives, for opinions, I don't think it's clarity on exactly where we are. I think the offensive line, regardless of the score of the game, we had a couple guys, particular inside players, that played well. So that just goes back to my first answer. You got to evaluate without the emotion, and I get we're on a radio show, and I don't agree with the.
But Coach, numbers don't lie. The offensive line is terrible right now. I mean, 32nd, 37th, and for Zach Martin on guard play, it's just not thing that I've ever seen from your line before.
What are you talking about?
I'm looking at numbers. You got 2 all-pro offensive guards in Smith and Martin that are ranked 32nd and 37th respectively by Pro Football Focus in line and run blocking. This is not something I've seen from those guys before.
Pro Football Focus?
Well, I'm just looking at numbers that they're throwing at me, Coach, and I'm looking at what I saw last week, and this is so abhorrent to anything I've ever seen from your line before. I'm trying to figure out how we got here.
All right, Rob, I disagree.
Oh, okay. Respectfully. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Respectful. Well, because, there's more to run blocking than just, what happens with the guy over you. I mean, there's other things that are going on in our run game, and I can tell you right now, I'm not worried about the 2 guards.
Me either, but the numbers show me something went on that went there, and this is just not what I'm accustomed to seeing from you guys.
Disagree with you, Rob. You're doing a hell of a job.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
Hey,
and
Coach,
I disagree with that, too.
Head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, brought to you by...
You're right. I disagree with that.
Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Coach, Baltimore Ravens come in. They're 0-2. Like, people could talk about what what you guys did last week. The Ravens have to feel like a sense of desperation. This was a team that was looked at as a real Super Bowl contender coming into the season. I mean, your guys are looking at a wounded tiger here. How do you prepare for a team that you know is much better than what their performance has been so far?
Well, I think it's really the same conversation. I mean, they played 2 games. You know, I think you have to. You know, we've obviously watched both their games and understand the momentum swing in the particular last game. But you know, we're preparing for the team that you know, also the cut ups and the information from last year. So yeah, I mean, we're preparing for the team that played in the AFC Championship game, and that, you know, that's how we view them. And once again, you have to take these one at a time. And you know, both teams are. It's week 3 for Christ's sake.
Right. Lamar Jackson, a unique threat. How do you prepare for a guy like that? You got is Trey playing Lamar running around in the backfield?
Trey did a nice job with the prep this week. I thought particularly yesterday. So yeah, I think in Lamar's that's a hard guy to emulate for sure because you know he's so dynamic when he pulls the ball down, but his ability to extend plays, particularly from the pocket. You know, his time clock is unique, and you know, and the thing that makes him even more special is when he pulls it down. You know, he can score from anywhere on the field.
The Ravens have a new defense with McDonald headed out to Seattle. What do you see different about their defensive scheme this year than in years past?
Well, there's such a strong history, you know, with what they've done there schematically. You know, I think the biggest thing is you have a new coordinator, so you don't really have two games to see his rhythm and, you know, his pattern of thinking. So that's part of the unscouted look challenge that September brings to you. You know, when we talk about that, we're not just talking about the players and their schemes, but also the play callers. So, but it's they've had the same defensive system for a couple of decades now. So they're very very challenging, and we're just trying to make sure our guys are ready to go for whatever they throw at us.
Yesterday's injury report, we had some guys back. Anybody we need to be paying close attention to coming to Sunday?
No, I feel good. I feel like we're getting better.
Yeah.
Head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, joins us here courtesy of AA Best Bail Bonds. Coach, a win, if you guys do get a win here, get back that on that home win streak, do you feel like if you had said 3 weeks into the season you guys are 2-1, would you be happy with where you guys are, like just with generally how you've played so far this season?
I don't think, I've never gone about it that way. I mean, all I think about is winning and then evaluating and improving the preparation each week to win the next one. I mean, that's really, you have to keep the focus clean. We understand we have a job responsibility to answer questions about narratives that have nothing to do with winning, and I think our guys do a good job of that respectfully. But yeah, it's about winning, but the result is really secondary to the process and the grind of improvement. Because if you take care of the prep and improvement every week, you're gonna win the games that you're gonna win plenty of games. So I think that's just us staying on point and just keeping it about winning.
Dalvin Cook, a lot of people asking about him. A lot of people saying that, maybe it's time to call up Dalvin. How's Dalvin looked in practice, and have you guys given any consideration to bringing him up to the big team?
Yeah, I think Dalvin's done a really good job since he's been here. I think the biggest adjustment for him is just like any veteran to come in here is the language hurdle that you have to get over. So he looks more and more comfortable. Obviously, the run courses and the things that we do here, he's very natural at it. So yeah, he's gotten better each week and looks more comfortable. But we'll like we always do, we'll go through today and tomorrow and make those decisions at the end of the week.
I know you've been busy all week, Coach. You get a chance to see Aaron running around last night on Thursday Night Football?
No, I'm sorry. No, I didn't.
Oh, they were wrong then. They said on the halftime show, they said, "Oh, I know Coach McCarthy's in his office watching this," and I remember that, Aaron. Shows what they know on these TV talking heads.
Steady work afoot.
That is head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, joining us courtesy of AA Best Bail Bonds. Coach, good luck to you this week, and hopefully we're talking to you after a win next week, Coach.
Start a new streak.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Coach.
It's Mike McCarthy. All callers on the the Buyers Barricades
I made him
guest
mad.
line.
I think I got him mad.
I think you did.
I think he's defending his offensive line a little bit.
I think so.
Numbers don't lie. I'm looking at him. I didn't make that up.
All right. He disagrees.
Respectfully.
He knows more about football than you.
I
know
think
that
he told
much.
me I suck.
He did.
I think he told me that I suck.
Listen,
Wow.
again, he knows more about football than you, knows more about radio than you, actually.
Probably.
All right. Hour number 2 coming up. We'll discuss this Cowboys game in a little bit further detail. It's Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding the work with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. It's the Morning Huddle, KTFM Floresville.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
We all expect our home to protect everything we love. But we don't expect that water is the reason parts of our concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Foundation Support Specialists. They'll restore your concrete and give you peace of mind. Get your free inspection at FoundationSupportSpecialists.com.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. I had an advantage. My legs were a weapon. 6,109 rushing yards, still unbeaten records. That's why I bet at BetUS.com. They offer American sports bettors an advantage. The industry's biggest bonus, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And get expert picks and predictions on their very own BetUS TV. Take advantage. Join me online at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS, where the game begins.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
When you've got a big job to do, never compromise. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Get the power, comfort, and quality you need by choosing Kubota rental equipment. Excavators, skid loaders, track loaders, RTVs, or mowers. At Ewald Kubota, we have the machine you need when you need it. Rent by the day, week, or month. We know you want the dependable equipment Kubota is known for, and we can even deliver it to you. From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, for over 75 years, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
There's new Tropic Bowls in paradise at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Enjoy our new Bahama Mama Bowl inspired by our fan fave smoothie flavor, serving pineapple, strawberry, and coconut. Or dig into 32 grams of protein with our new Peanut Butter Protein Crunch Bowl. It's tropic time.
Is your vehicle stopping like it should? Does it squeal or grind when you brake? Don't miss out on summer brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
What's better than one win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
San Antonio Sports Center.
Shohei Otani creates the 50-50 club, a 3-homer, 10 RBI night, sets a record that won't be soon broken. In the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys welcome the Baltimore Ravens into Jerry World, a kick you can catch live right here on San Antonio Sports Star at 2:30. College football, Texas A&M welcomes Bowling Green into College Station. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
J4 says, more concerned about a head football coach with a night off that doesn't watch the NFL game on a Thursday. He could have learned something about the Jets D. And McCarthy and Zimmer should be watching every Thursday game no matter who's playing. I disagree completely. First of all, Thursday's not a night off for NFL head coaches. Those dudes are probably up all night working on film and game plan. And
yeah, I mean,
they don't play the Jets. They don't play the Patriots. I'd much rather him be watching the Ravens than watching the Jets Patriots, especially the TV broadcast. What are you going to learn from that?
You have fun, you crack a beer. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
They probably had a day off on Tuesday, would be my guess. That's the normal day off.
Now, if he was, he wouldn't say he was.
If he was watching?
If he was, he wasn't. Oh, yeah, me and the boys were hung out. He would be, no, our men are working. And so I don't believe that where he was, whatever office he was in, that one of the TVs, one of the monitors in the room he was on, didn't have the Jets on.
I don't disagree, but I certainly know that they weren't sitting around watching the game.
They weren't. But I'm sure that when Aaron was up, that Mike saw a little bit of his former quarterback. It's they are, in the end, they are going to be joined for at least a brief time. And when Aaron goes into the Hall of Fame, and McCarthy might very well go in as well. They're always going to be linked. So when Aaron, did he play last night? No,
I was unaware.
Was there a football game last night?
I was unaware that he was still. Is he still in the league? Huh.
I hadn't thought about him in a minute. So sure, just you can deflect all you want, Coach.
Yeah, I had a feeling he wasn't going to own it. But yeah, Thursday. Make no mistake, Thursday is not a night off for NFL coaches who have a game on Sunday.
No,
not even close.
Never having done it, you wonder how much time coaches spend 20 hours a day. In the gym, in the film, and doing all this. I wonder how much time is really spent doing this and how much time is just, hanging with the dudes. Like, this is how coaches are supposed to do it, so this is what we do. I remember when Spurrier took the job with the commander from Redskins then for, a year? And he was like, I am not going to be a 100-hour coach. I'm going to be I'm going home at 5. I got a life. And that crap fell apart.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
It didn't work well at all.
No, you have to live that life, and remember, you've got, 10 10 guys working under you
and 10 guys working under them
that you've got to meet with every one of them every week before every game, and then you've got to break them off into groups. You're like, okay, now tight end room and wide receiver room come together. We're going to have a meeting together. We're going to have meetings separate. All right, O-line room, we're going to have a meeting. O-line room with the running back room, we're going to have a meeting on this.
Well, I know coaches always in the O-line meeting and always in the quarterback meeting. That's the two meetings that McCarthy is in always. Those two.
And then, he's got to talk to his coordinators, and he's probably spending a lot of time putting in offensive game plan. And, hey, what do we do in this situation? What do we do in this situation? If we're down 14-0, how do we play it? If we're up 14-0, how are we going to play it? I mean, you want these coaches to be prepared for any situation, and it doesn't do it on its own. You don't get prepared for the Ravens by watching the Jets beat the crap out of the Patriots.
Although I do think there is paralyzation by overanalyzation sometimes. I do think NFL and most
dude, give me somebody who's overprepared than underprepared any day.
Yeah, most entities tend to. Well, if you're so overprepared that you can't make a decision.
Yeah.
And I do think sometimes clock management issues aren't due to underpreparedness. It's, they have a scenario for every possible down and distance when there's always a pretty easy answer to some of these things.
I think the other thing that, caught a lot of grief this week was the running game. And listen, the Cowboys running game stinks. We knew it was going to stink. It's the Cowboys run game stinking is no surprise to anyone. They did not. I said at the beginning of the season, they are not serious about being a good running football team. You can tell because
they didn't do anything to fix it.
They didn't care to upgrade, which is fine. But
it's not fine, AJ.
But here's the thing. In regards to what happened this week, would a good run game have helped you? No. When you lose a game by 30-something points, it's usually not because you didn't run the ball well.
It is sometimes if you can run the ball in the first quarter and keep the ball out of the hands of an offense that's obviously ripping your D apart. So it does play a role. And it's exactly what we thought would be. We knew coming into it that the problem was going to be running the ball and defending the run. And they fall ass backwards, ass forward into an NFL that now, at least in the early first 3 weeks, 2 weeks plus one, if you can't run the ball, you can't win. I mean, scoring is way down. Offensive production is down. Passing is down. Passing touchdowns is down. Only thing that's up is the run game. They're running the ball and controlling the clock across the league. Now, the usual suspects are still throwing the ball. But all in all, the successful teams early on are running the ball about 165 to 180 yards a game. That's what they're doing. Cowboys are running it at 85 yards a game.
Yeah.
Now, last week, they were behind the markers all game long, and you can use that as an excuse. I look at it as a reason you were behind the marker all day long because you couldn't hold the ball and keep that red-hot offense off the field.
Yeah, I look at it as if a team scored 44 points on you, a running game wouldn't have helped you.
Well, not in the third and the fourth, but in the first quarter, if you could have just taken your defense off the field for a minute, just give them a little bit more time to get a breath. They couldn't. It was 3 and out. That the time of possession was so lopsided that you've hamstrung your defense because you cannot hold the ball. That's the reason they're sitting where they are and will continue to have problems all season long. Dalvin Cook ain't coming out of retirement or whatever it is to save this Cowboys running game. If he could do it, he'd already be doing it. When you tell me a seasoned pro who's been in the league for 10 years, reason he's not playing is he can't pick up our play calls. What? You go into the huddle and say, you know what you do? You run right there. You remember that play we practiced it? Oh, yeah. I don't buy. Well, as soon as he gets the nomenclature and he figures out what rocket means here that wasn't rocket in Baltimore, no, man. It's not there. He's not better than Dowdle or Zeke. He's the same dude.
The Cowboys gave up touchdowns on the Saints' first 6 drives. I don't know if I mean, sure, could have running the ball a little bit better have helped, could it have kept it from being as much of a blowout? But if you're not stopping anyone, as you know, Rob, running the ball and defense go hand in hand. And if you're not playing defense, you can't really run the ball. The Cowboys didn't play defense in this game at all.
No, they never
it,
adjusted, never even tried. It was weak side, run, cut against the grain. Defensive, we got one dude that's going to get cut. They're covering it with a bad wrist injury. All of those played into it. But the problem is exactly what we expected. They can't stop the run, and they can't run the ball. And if you can't do that, at least now, early on in the NFL in this season, you're not going to win a game. I do believe that as the weeks pass, the passing game is going to take more and more control of the league. We're not going back to mid-'80s where you can be a Super Bowl champ year in and year out throwing the ball for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's still a passing league. But right now, if you can't run the ball, given what other teams are doing, you're not going to win. You're just not going to. And especially when you can't defend against it, which is probably the situation that we should be talking about more than anything.
Yeah, and that's got to get under control more than anything. If that doesn't get under control, nothing else really matters, I don't think. QBR right now, which has been a good stat for Dak in the last couple of years. Right now, Dak's QBR sits at 43.5, which puts him 22nd in the league, squeezed right in between Gardner Minshew and Justin Fields. Dak's got to be better too. And, I mean, if you said this dude that just got hundreds of millions of dollars was going to be right there – the 2 names ahead of him, Jaden Daniels, Gardner Minshew. The 2 names after him, Justin Fields and Daniel Jones. Oof. You don't want to be in that conversation. You don't want to be in that group.
What launched him last year, he didn't have any multi-interception games, didn't have any of those. We've already seen that. I think there's some of everything we're bitching about today that does fall into what McCarthy's talking about. Man, this is early on. I mean, my starters are really just getting into the minutes played in starting games that ordinarily they would have in other preseasons, where you play them for a couple of games and you get a full half of starting to close the preseason out, and all those things that they just didn't get. We're talking about reps in live action. They're just now rounding into game form after 2 games. I mean, really, that's where they are as far as action reps against a opposition that is giving them 100% of 100% good. And 2 games into it, now we can start seeing stuff. But I am the defensive line at the end of the season, when we do our post-season recap, will be the reason the Cowboys are done. I don't know when that will be, but at the end of the day, the defensive line will be the reason they lose. It's too late now. They're not gonna, unless there's a trade in the works, unless they're trying to find something. And McClay and even yesterday, Stephen Jones said on the Blitz, it's a 365. We're always looking, and they have been over the last 2 weeks. If this isn't addressed, if they don't go out and find talent, not bodies, but talent, that the defensive line will be the reason the season is over.
Well, I will say this goes to show how painful it can be when you miss on a draft pick, because they can, and I say miss, maybe it's too early to tell.
Oh, it's a whiff.
The results on Mozzie to this point they border on disastrous. And when there was no other backup plan in place, it was like, all right, the guy we drafted he's the guy, and he's not a guy, he's not a dude. You're in trouble. And now they didn't do anything different to address it. And you're right, Rob, if you can't stop the run right now, you're in trouble.
It's over.
And Cowboys have shown no signs of being able to stop the run. Boy, this is going to be rough. This week, we're going to learn a lot. Either Lamar, because you got thunder and lightning, baby. Shake and bake. Lamar and Derrick Henry. And those 2 dudes are going to that's going to be a problem for this Cowboys front. They've got to be better than they were a week ago against, quite frankly, a lesser run offense. So I think if this game is a disaster, we can probably sound some panic alarms, because if what we saw last week is the trend, or if that's the truth, this is not going to be as nearly the quality of football team that we thought it could be. But I tend to believe that there is some sort of middle ground. I don't think the Cowboys are as bad as they looked last week. I just think it was a bad day. And these things happen.
it would be easy to say, yeah, they had a bad day because Dak threw 3 interceptions. Or there was looked at like our field goal kicker missed 3 kicks. That's a bad day. That's when you go, I apply, it just didn't work out. This was a collapse. This was in every facet. It wasn't just, my quarterback had a bad day, threw 4 interceptions, and we can't win that way. He threw 2 interceptions, but he also threw a touchdown pass, and they kind of moved the ball. But other than that, every facet of the game was a loss. Offensive line was a loss. Defensive line was a loss. Defensive backfield was a loss. Corners were a loss. Every position group got beat. Every one of them. There was not one group where you go, well, they showed up. So that's what was more worrying for me than anything else was I don't know what you got to fix other than everything.
Yeah. I think back to the Christmas game last year it was the Ravens and the 49ers. And the Ravens went to San Francisco and just beat the snot out of the 49ers. And that was late enough in the season where it was like, this maybe the 49ers aren't what we thought they were. But then at the end it was just a bad day. It was a bad day. Even the best teams sometimes just flat out get their ass kicked. It's not, it happens to damn near everybody. It's very rare you go through a season where you look great in every game, and this isn't going to be one of those seasons for the Cowboys. Maybe they've gotten theirs out of the way. Remember the Chiefs last year even, I don't remember if it was the Raiders or Denver that beat them. I think both beat them, but one of them beat them back. It was Denver. Denver beat the crap out of the Kansas City Chiefs last year, and it was like, what just happened? And Chiefs were fine. It was a bad day. I don't know. I think that until we see a trend or a pattern, let's hold up on full judgment of this team, because I think maybe I think certainly they're better than what they looked like against the Saints.
Is there any way that they could play well enough this week and lose that would give you any kind of
hope
for sure so? Against an 0-2 team?
But the Ravens aren't an 0-2 team.
Well, I mean, the numbers tell us no matter how good or bad you are, when you're 0-2, you're not what was expected.
Sure.
I think there's a way. I just can't fathom that they can show up against Baltimore and run the football and lose. If they can run the football, they're going to beat them.
Well,
I'm telling you, if they can run, if the Cowboys I'm going to go back to that old Zeke thing when Zeke got 100, the Cowboys won. If the Cowboys can won the ball for 150 yards on Sunday, they're going to win the football game. That's double their output. I would say that that's 15 minutes onto their time of possession. That tells me that they're keeping that other team off the field and they're scoring points. If they run for 150 yards, which I can't even imagine.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, sure. If they run for 100, they're probably going to win every game they run for 150 yards.
Absolutely. I mean, most teams.
But chances are good they're going to have to find a way to win games where they don't run for 150
yards. Right, and I don't think they've got the firepower to do it.
Okay. Well, that's the big question, and that who that falls on? That falls on Dak Prescott, and it falls on McCarthy. And it falls on this offense that they understand what they've got. They know what their groceries are, and their groceries aren't the kind of groceries that cook up a 150-yard or a game rushing attack. They're not. Close. So they knew what they had. They've got to figure it out without being able to run the ball for 150 yards. They did enough to win in that first game, and they were fine running the ball. A 100-yard rushing game, it's fine. It's better than what they got against the Saints. But I think they're going to have to win a lot more games like they won that Browns game than games that they're going to get 150. They're not getting 150 against the Ravens. Forget that.
I'm going to fall back on a little bit of what you're talking about the first couple of games. The Cowboys gave up 21 points in 12 plays. I mean, everything you thought you were going to try to do was out the window.
Yeah.
So I do think that there was a lot of playbook that we never saw.
That's why I say it might just be. I think it's an overreaction. I think it's a panic.
The thing that they're going to have to get so much better at is the one thing that the defense does very, very well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The defense stops the run even against good teams, and you're going to try to improve against the best run-stop team in all the NFL.
All right, let's take a look at the other team in Texas playing this week. We'll talk about them on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic, happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Ricky, would you like to rap at the Testicle Festival? Can you give me a little rap?
You want me to spit a rap?
Yeah, I want you to spit a rap.
About balls? Yo, Testicle Festival. It's like an extraterrestrial. Widen my eyes when I see them calf fries.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hey, Cowboys fans, want to kick off tailgate season with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, Rowdy, and a Dallas Cowboys legend? Stop by the HEB Plus, located at 9238 North Loop 1604 West in Bandera Road in San Antonio from 9 a.m. to noon on Sunday, September 29th. You'll even have a chance to enter to win tickets to an upcoming Dallas Cowboys home game, as well as tour the Hall of Fame bus and more. Don't miss out as we roll into town for the Dallas Cowboys tailgate tour presented by HEB.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. I'm one of 5 million active members. I play every day because you know why? It's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports because I get to use my knowledge and apply it to win some serious money. And as a player, they invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if your pick don't hit. You can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with just as simple 4 correct picks. It is that easy to play. You can have fun. It's simple. It's a great playing experience, and you can use your knowledge. How well is Tyreek Hill going to do this week? How is Dak Prescott going to play? If you know, you go play. It's Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code Alamo and get $50 instantly when you play. That's code Alamo on Prize Picks. You get $50 instantly when you play just 5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game.
How about them Cowboys? Jim Beam, bringing fans together across Cowboys country. We rise as one in Texas in handed-down silver and blue jerseys. We come together for America's team every time they take the field. So let's share a round of Jim Beam highballs on game day in Cowboys country. 40% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2024 James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky. Drink smart.
Have you or a family member been arrested? The Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, can help regardless of the legal battle you are facing, personal injury or criminal defense. Attorney Jesse Hernandez and his team are ready to fight for you. Calls are answered 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Call 210-807-8656 or visit jessehernandezlaw.com. That's 210-807-8656 or jessehernandezlaw.com. The Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla.
Testosterone plays a significant role in regulating fat metabolism and distribution in the body. It also helps to reduce serious health risks down the line. I'm Manny with Rock's Discount Vitamins, and we carry the highest quality natural testosterone boosters on the market. It immediately provides you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improves your mood. With 11 San Antonio area locations, find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for all the support.
Olympia Hills has renovated all 18 greens to enhance your golfing experience. Book your tee time now to experience the all-new Olympia Hills. Come and enjoy the dramatic elevation changes and a layout that has been strategically designed for your enjoyment. Rediscover one of the premier golf courses in the greater San Antonio area, complete with a top-tier golf practice facility, a full-length driving range, and a 10,000 square foot short game area. Book your tee time now at OlympiaHillsGolf.com. That's OlympiaHillsGolf.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Bowling Green Falcons, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Pull back the curtain.
Fabulous.
Pull back the curtain a little bit. Didn't realize that we didn't turn on our overhead lights until just now. We've tried not to, because the lights in this studio will blind you if you leave them on 24/7. Your retinas will burn out of your head. But
for those that have been watching, for those that have been paying attention on the Brigade Bar and watching, do we look better now or before? Because we had mood lighting.
For sure we look better now.
No, I don't think I look better in bright light.
Oh, I
the
think
dimmer we get, the better I am.
Yesterday we were discussing who the next Woj was going to be. And I think it might be Ramona Shelburne.
Well, it makes sense. She's done done her job. She drop a bomb. What are we going to call hers?
Ramona, a shell bomb.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Shell bomb.
Or a bombshell.
Not really applicable.
No? Oh, that's too bad. Ramona Bombshell says that Joel Embiid has agreed on a 3-year, $192.9 million maximum extension to remain with the Sixers. So the first shell bomb.
There we go. The shell bomb. The bombshell's not bad. Yeah, for Ramona, she's earned it.
Ramona. As your girl.
Do you know any Ramonas?
No.
Other than her?
No.
Ramona.
No, that's a...
Sounds like a town on like a outskirt of Los Angeles. Where are you from?
I feel like Ramona is only... The only girls named Ramona have dads named Ramon who really wanted a boy. Like that was, they were like, oh, girl.
Oh, we'll just slap an A on it. You'll be fine.
Damn it. All right, fine.
Not a junior.
All right, it's Ramona. Yeah, nobody goes through like the name book and goes, oh, that reminds me of a beautiful flower. Or no.
You ever had Ramona? It itches.
No, but the good thing is, like when when you go, I've never had to name a girl, fortunately. But when we were going through boy names, and I was like, it's tough enough. Yeah. You go through girl names.
Oh, yeah.
Every dude knows a girl who, she hooked up with 2 dudes at a party once. Her name was Stephanie. We can't name our daughter Stephanie.
Yeah, we went through that.
Yeah,
you don't want to. That.
But and if you think about it hard enough, a lot of names sound like stripper names, or she's going to end up on the pole if we name her, that.
Oh, Desiree.
Yeah, that's like Ramona. You don't worry about her stripping. You're like no. Ramona's probably going to work in a meat packing plant. She's going to work. She's going to be like she's going to work at the oil change shop. Like that's.
Yeah. Or smoke shop.
I don't know, man.
Or she's going to be the next Adrian Wojnarowski.
Yeah.
I think the poll's got a potential. I think there's
Not for Ramona.
You never know.
Not for Ramona.
There are different levels of poles to be swung on.
Yeah. Man, we don't. I apologize. I said I had a bombshell. What am I supposed to do? Talk Texans? No, there was a bombshell. We will talk Texans on the other side. We'll take a look all around the NFL coming up at 8:30. We'll also get into some college football, and
we got tickets to give away too coming up.
Oh yeah, and my goodness, Shohei Otani,
right?
Good at sports games. All that and more coming up. But first, Rob's got to tell you about his juicy, tender, delicious, thick-cut meat.
Now, that's what it is. I don't know what your plans are for the weekend. We got a long day of football coming up. I know my Aggies start about 6:30. Texas will be playing a little bit earlier than that. If you're grilling all weekend, you got to grade things out. There's some long smokes, there's some quick fire grill, and Tri-County's got everything you need to up your grilling game. Maybe put a brisket on tomorrow night, have it ready for the Cowboy game at about 3:30 on Sunday. Or maybe you need to put it on today so it's ready for your team tomorrow. That's why you need to head over to Tri-County today. The specials are in play. Everything's ready for you for a full grilling weekend. Walk in today. Go get some of those poppers that are made by hand in store. You're not going to get a better made popper. I love the cheddar. They got the cream cheese too. They've also got all the stuffed chicken breasts you can possibly imagine. If you have not had one of their football-sized stuffed chicken breasts, it's a pleasant diversion from the great steaks that they're going to be offering you. That's why I love Tri-County. Grab a couple of rubs while you're in there, and if you need pellets or charcoal, they got that too. You're looking for produce? Yeah, they've got it too. Make it your stop when you head out for your full grilling weekend. A great meal always starts from great meat from Tri-County, either on Huebner, out on Ralph Fair. The 5 for $30 is in play. The specials are in there as well. I'm going to get myself a couple T-bones, maybe even a porterhouse for that Aggie win tomorrow night. Head over to Tri-County, put some good meat on the grill, and I know you're going to be thanking me later.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. The Cowboys take on the Baltimore Ravens at home.
I like this kind of party!
Pregame starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We've cleared one of our trouble spots. Downtown, we had a stalled 18-wheeler, 35, lower level, northbound at Alamo. That has cleared. With the combination of rush hour, though, you might notice a little bit of a slow residual delay from 90. On 1604, westbound, the off-ramp to get onto I-10, Vance-Jackson, the right interchange ramp is blocked. A stall at I-10 eastbound at Ackerman, off to the shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
Point!
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Oh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace!
You're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust new Febreze car vent clips, now with 3 times greater scent control, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with new Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing, which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up! Oscar!
Football season is here. Hi, Jason Minix here from The Blitz. You want to have more fun watching football this year? Play the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy. Over 1 million fans got in the game last year by making picks on Underdog. You can join in and win up to 325 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats. I know I made a lot of money last year playing at Underdog Fantasy on the Pick'em game. You too can as well. And it's easy to get signed up. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download their mobile app. Use my promo code STAR and Underdog will give you a highly discounted pick to use on your first Pick'em entry, plus a first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Promo code STAR to claim your new customer offer of a gimme first pick and your deposit offer when you get signed up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or go to ncpgambling.org.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
There aren't many feelings worse than trying to start your car in the morning and being greeted with a dead battery, or being stuck on the side of the road when you don't need to be. 1 in 4 vehicles on the road will need a battery replacement this year. Don't be a statistic. Stop battery problems before they stop you by testing your battery regularly. Test yours at home or at select Napa locations nationwide. If you need a replacement, Napa has you covered with a full range of long-lasting, high-performance batteries for nearly every make and model on the road. So don't wait. Test your battery today and let Napa help you keep moving.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, it is a football Friday, and of course that means we're at a high school football stadium.
Absolutely. Getting ready for the great football weekend. We'll talk Aggies with Andrew Monaco. He will join us at 3:35.
Then we've got John Machota with The Athletic at 5:15 to talk Cowboys football as they get set for the Baltimore Ravens.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, Jim Rome here, and back in the military city of San Antonio. Join me weekdays at noon, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
NFL, yes. Week 3 got underway last night. We'll get even further into it on Sunday. Oh, and then double dip on Monday night. What?
We got 2?
I don't like that, by the way.
Possible? Why don't they give us a Tuesday night? We'll play Tuesday.
I like the idea of 2 Monday Night Football games. I just don't want them to be going on at the same time.
You want a businessman noon kickoff?
I want one for the East Coast people and one for the hardcores that are going to stay up late for a West Coast start.
But don't we kind of get that, though? There's a little bit of an overlap.
45 minutes. Yeah. For us, there's a 6:30 kickoff on the early game. The late game kicks off at 7:15. Come on, man.
Last night they polished it off pretty quick. Got done pretty early last night.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't listen. I don't complain about staying up late for football. I love football. I'm going to stay up. If there's an NFL game on and it lasts till 1 a.m., I'm going to stay up till 1 a.m. and it's going to hurt me the next day, but that's what I do. Yeah. But I don't want don't act like it's some sort of a treat that I'm getting a primetime game when I can't even watch that primetime game because the other primetime game's on. Primetime games are supposed to be standalone games. And I want one to start at 5 and one to start at 8.
You don't get to utilize your man cave and all the different TVs if they're
separate
like that.
What
am I going to show off to my friends?
That's the thing. All right, I don't have a man cave here. I'm a minimalist while I'm here before my family gets here. I've got nothing.
So you want the rest of us?
I've got a TV and I got an iPad.
Well, that's 2 screens. You can keep track of both.
I will.
Modern time.
But I want to watch both.
Really, that's impossible.
You know what I mean?
No, it's impossible. Anybody who has 2 TV, I'm trying to watch 2 games, you're watching no game.
But that's what I don't do that. But that's why primetime games, I'm supposed to be able to sit down and watch the game. I watched that whole crumb bum ass game last night. A terrible game. I watched every minute of it because it was the game that was on. You know what I mean? You're a red zone guy, aren't you?
I do appreciate red zone, but it's for an entirely different purpose. I'm watching red zone for background. I mean, I'm watching the game, but you don't know what's going on when all you see is highlights. It's fantasy football.
I have a hard time with red zone.
That's the only reason I'm doing it. But I can't watch a full day of red zone and walk in here on Monday and act like I know what happened yesterday.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? That's not what red zone is for. It has a place, but I'm not learning anything about teams because all I'm seeing is touchdowns. I don't know how they got there, but it does have a place in my world, and I thoroughly enjoy it.
Well, the Houston Texans are at Minnesota on Sunday in a matchup of 2-0 teams. Someone's O has got to go. One of those teams is going to be 3-0. I think Minnesota may be more of the surprise 2-0 team.
We're going to find out for sure.
If for no other reason than I don't think a lot of people had Minnesota beating San Francisco on their bingo card. It may be a while before we figure out what the Texans really are. This is listen, I think the Texans are good. But so far they beat Anthony Richardson, a guy who's played 3 games before he came back and was coming off a major injury. And they beat Caleb Williams in his second career start. Next they get Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold looks good, but he's still Sam Darnold. And Trevor Lawrence.
5-0. I ain't complaining. Seriously, at some point, whether you're good or bad, what did George Costanza say? It's not a lie if you believe it. If you start believing you're a good team, you kind of become a good team.
And you know what? Maybe they will.
No, they are a good team. I know where you're going because we all expected them. They're playing a tougher schedule. They're not getting the 8th place teams. They're not getting last placers. They're getting playoff contenders. They haven't gotten them yet. They're still playing last year's schedule. So I do expect a little bit of a decrease, but the longer you keep playing well, it's really hard not to play well. I mean, everybody runs into buzzsaws, but I think the best thing for the Texans, better than playing tough teams early, is go kick somebody's ass and continue to do that until you go and get against a team that, quite frankly, is ready for you.
Best thing I've seen out of the Texans so far is they got a number 2 corner to go opposite of Stingley. This Kamari Lassiter that they drafted, it got him in the 2nd round out of Georgia, and he's a stud.
Let me tell you, James Pledger's our resident Texans fan and was talking about Lassiter all year long. Mid-season, he's going, that's the guy they need. That's the guy they need. And they went and got him in the 2nd round, no less. And, he's paid dividends.
And then what's been, and this is kind of a double-edged sword, the running game's been really good. The problem is now Joe Mixon's out for the foreseeable future. Dameon Pierce is hurt. So now you're talking about running out the corpse of Cam Akers. Suddenly,
this is a worry.
Suddenly the Texans running back room looks a lot like the Cowboys running back room.
And running by committee can work if everything else is flexing. If the passing game is working and your play action play is drawing guys in and out and they're having to respect a lot of different things, you could go by committee, but everything else has to work too.
Well, and unlike the Cowboys, when you play the Cowboys, you can commit safeties to stopping the run. Like it's when you're playing the Texans and they've got Nico Collins and they've got Tank Dell and they've got Stephon Diggs. It's really hard to say, all right, let's pile guys in the box. No, I mean, they're going to have some success running the ball probably no matter who's in the backfield, but they're certainly going to be missing Joe Mixon, who through a game and 3/4 of a game looked like he's really found some new life with this team. So we'll see how they do without him for a while, and we'll see how they do against what looks to be a pretty damn serviceable quarterback in Sam Darnold. So so far they had Anthony Richardson, who's very inaccurate but is capable of making a highlight play, no doubt, and Caleb Williams, who for all the talk he had about, oh, don't worry, we're not going to be punting much, is kind of a check down Charlie and scared to cut loose on some things. Sam Darnold's looked really good this year. This is a good test for the Texans.
We're going to see. Last weekend was just so chock full of surprises and upsets that might not at the end of the season be considered upsets, but unexpected wins. It's going to be interesting to see if we start to regress back to the mean. Like last week, everybody got shocked into, oh my goodness, we can't just roll out and play like the Dallas Cowboys and expect to win because we're at home. Do we see the teams that we expected to be good suddenly start to be good, to regress back to what was expected, the mean? And that would be a Texans situation. Are they going to just beat the team that they should, or are they going to come back and act like playing like a team that's in a second-year quarterback that now has some film on him, and we could do some things to him that we couldn't last year because we didn't know what he was going to do? And you look at all the games, I think Minnesota is probably better than we expected, but they ain't that good. You know what I mean? And I think the Texans need to treat them and like a team that can jump up and get them, because they can. And I don't think they expected Minnesota to be that much of a problem before the season began.
What's funny is most of the teams that are 2-0 could easily be 1-1.
Right.
Most of the teams that are 0-2 could easily be 1-1. Kansas City could easily be 0-2. So there's been enough close games. There's very few teams that have either been completely non-competitive or completely dominant. The Bills, through 2 games, have been dominant. Shockingly, almost, through 2 games, the LA Chargers have been dominant. The Saints have clearly been dominant through 2 games.
Going through here, there's not a lot of games here you have a feel for. Look at these matchups. I got no feel for any of these.
My problem is this. The teams that I think are due to bounce back were the same teams I thought were due to bounce back last week. And here's what I've committed to. I'm not giving the Panthers my money this week. I want to. I'm not, even though I know they've got to be better with Andy Dalton. Bryce Young statistically was so bad. We're talking about 0.1 yards EPA, which means every time he drops back, him throwing the ball adds 0.1 yards to what they're expected to get. That's Edwin could do that. That's the craziest number I've seen. Andy Dalton's going to be a massive upgrade, at least in the short term.
Yeah, but the Raiders they won a football game.
I know.
And they didn't just win it, they won it.
Yep.
It wasn't like it was given to them. And it's across. We watched the Lions. What clock management, halftime stuff, and then we go against the Cardinals with a perfect QBR. We didn't see that coming.
Nope.
49ers and Rams both coming off losses. This is a strange weekend, a get-right weekend, because I don't think any of these teams have any idea who they're playing. I mean, we're 2 weeks in, granted, not a lot of film, but nobody, for the most part, looked like we thought they were going to look last weekend, either far better or far worse.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. Cincinnati could be, they should be better than what they've been.
The Chiefs and the Falcons both win by a breath. Both of them won a game last week that neither should have won.
Well, Chiefs, now that's 2 that they've gotten away with. Remember, they beat the Ravens by a toe, and then they beat the Bengals on a phantom flag. So But it's good. It's good for the league.
It's good for me because this was one of those weekends you look up and down the schedule and go, no real rivalry games, no real I hate you kind of stuff, no matchup of young superstars. It's just a bunch of teams that either performed better than they should have by far or laid a freaking egg. So every game,
dude, I think the most interesting game on the board this week is Baltimore and Dallas, just because where both of them are sitting right now.
What is the over-under in the Chargers-Steelers game? Is there going to be a completed touchdown pass?
35.5.
See, think about how low that is. Look, Bears and Colts, I don't know what to see coming down this one. Who's the better quarterback, Richardson or Caleb?
No, I don't
know.
Yeah.
There is so many questions this weekend that I do think.
Good data point weekend.
It is. I think we'll have a lot more clarity on Tuesday than we have today.
Yeah. And now we're starting to see teams change. Like Bryce Young is the tip of the iceberg. Yep. We're going to see more of these teams go. How long do you think it is before the Giants say, that's enough, Daniel Jones? That's enough. We've seen enough.
Or just last night, the Jets don't need Hassan Reddick. He doesn't seem to want to be a Jet.
Well, let's see if they need him when they're not playing the Patriots.
Well, I'm just saying, at some point, these guys, like the Cowboys, might wake up on Tuesday going, we got to go get Reddick. So I mean, teams are becoming who they're going to be, and I think the Cowboys know this defensive line is going to be an issue from here on out. And if we're committed to winning, this is not an answer. So I do think, like you were talking about, I do think teams are becoming who they are, or they're going to find out exactly what they need to become who they are.
And it's been 2 games. There's very few teams that I'm looking at now that I'm going, I think this is what this team is. Most teams I'm looking at, I'm going, I think they're either better than what they've shown so far, or they're not as good as they've shown so far. Listen, I know you're higher on them than I am. I'm certain the Saints are not as good as they've been through 2 weeks. I'm certain of it because they have a dummy head coach. They have an inconsistent quarterback who on good days can look like a top 10 quarterback and on bad days can look like a bottom 5 quarterback. They've got an aging running back. There's no way that this is what they've been the last 2 weeks is the truth of what the Saints are. It's just impossible.
Well, you look at the schedule. This is a team that has a pretty low-end schedule. The Eagles don't look like that big of a threat. Then suddenly the Falcons, which is a blood and guts game. The Chiefs, we've already talked about, could be 0-2. The first real game they're going to see to find out who they are, which is strangely enough, a team in the Buccaneers is far better than we expected them to be. So I don't think we know who the Saints are. We won't know for a month. We might find out in October who they are.
I want you to think about this. The summer line on the Eagles-Saints game was Eagles -2.5 at the Saints, which meant that the market thought the Eagles were about 5 points better than the New Orleans Saints.
Not anymore.
Now it's Saints -2.5, which is saying the market thinks these two teams on a neutral field are exactly even.
And I think that's more about Philadelphia than the Saints, though.
I mean, maybe. Philly's 1-1. Could easily be 2-0. I mean, that's the game they lost to the Falcons. I don't know. That's a coin flip game.
Yeah, but they never slowed the Falcons down. And keep in mind that Falcon team last week, the week prior, couldn't move the ball at all. And Philly let them, at least between the 20s, they ran and threw at will. And then when they needed to move the ball and just get themselves in, but they go get a touchdown down the field. I mean, on a Philly team that thought their defense was improved over last year.
But we went from Philly being the third favorite to win the NFC to now, oh, yeah, they're the exact same team as the New Orleans Saints. What? This is where I just feel like the league or the world, the NFL world, overreacts to what they've seen through a couple of games. And in some ways, it's pretty obvious now the Panthers are garbage. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. They're garbage. But
most likely to carry through, most likely to prove that what we see is translatable? Because I think we can put what we saw from the Cardinals in the same boat as we saw from the Saints. It might have been a one-off game. They've got a decent record, but gosh.
The Cardinals' defense is bad. So it's objectively bad, but they're going to outscore some teams this year.
So do you think that who is more of who you think they're going to be, the Cardinals or the Saints?
The Cardinals.
Think so?
Yeah. Yeah, the Cardinals, because they're gonna give up a bunch of points too. They're they're gonna win games that they're gonna win 35-33, and they're gonna lose games 40-33. But that's what I know. That's what I expect them to be. All right, we'll talk about college football. We'll talk about Otani in the next hour. Morning Huddle 94.1.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. KTFM Floresville.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio Sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Jungla. Sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working a trouble spot on 1604 eastbound at Shanefield Road, far west side of town. It's in the left lane, so about a 5-7 minute delay has you stop and go from 151. A crash on Loop 410 eastbound approaching Interchange Parkway, northeast side. That's in the right lane, and that has you slow from Nacogdoches. We did clear that wreck on the south side at 35 northbound at Malone. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. That's progressive.com/careers.
What would you do if you weren't afraid is a very important question to consider. The reason to consider it is because life has a nasty habit of presenting us with opportunities for our fears to rise to the surface and either stop us cold in our tracks or completely derail us. Digging down into why and what we fear can uncover some life-changing moments where we not only discover some important things about ourselves, but learn some lessons about life. Eventually, we will all face tragedy and setback. No one goes untouched, but some folks will closet themselves off in denial and self-deception. Others, on the other hand, will realize that what they face is really bigger than what they can handle and invite God into the crisis. And when they get to the other side, they realize that they're not afraid to love and to be loved. They're not afraid to be hopeful about life because the fear of going it alone is gone. God is with them. This is Mark Absher, the MacArthur Park Church of Christ, encouraging you to face your fears. Visit our church online at macarthurchurch.org. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
You know Diamonds Direct for their exquisite diamonds and fine jewelry. What about luxury watches? With a handpicked collection by the industry's top timepiece experts, skip the waiting list and get the timepiece you've been eyeing right away. And this month only, enjoy 0% interest for 5 years on all the top brands. Imagine owning a $15,000 luxury watch for just $250 a month. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Diamonds Direct, where you can shop direct for diamonds and watches.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back. I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Time is of the essence with COVID-19.
Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Learn more at treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. Check it out, the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence and camera control for easy access. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. New and existing customers can trade in any phone from one of our top brands in any condition for the new iPhone 16 Pro with Unlimited Ultimate. Trade-in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
Hey, Cowboys fans, want to kick off tailgate season with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, Rowdy, and a Dallas Cowboys legend? Stop by the HEB, located in the Brooks Corner Shopping Center at 3323 Southeast Military Drive in San Antonio from 9 a.m. to noon on Saturday, September 28th. You'll even have a chance to enter to win tickets to an upcoming Dallas Cowboys home game, as well as tour the Hall of Fame bus and more. Don't miss out as we roll into town for the Dallas Cowboys tailgate tour presented by HEB.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio Sports Center.
Shohei Otani creates the 50-50 club, a 3-homer, 10 RBI night, sets a record that won't be soon broken. In the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys welcome the Baltimore Ravens into Jerry World, a kick you can catch live right here on San Antonio Sports Star at 2:30. College football, Texas A&M welcomes Bowling Green into College Station. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Shohei Otani put a bow on his MVP season last night. Pretty much locked it up, I think.
You think?
My goodness.
Now, I heard Kempchin, or whatever his name is, who I think is Tim
Kirchin,
the guy who wears shoes all the time, whatever. We'll call it what might have been.
What do you mean wears shoes all the time?
Have you ever? He never takes his shoes off in his house until he goes to bed. I don't know why. It's an old. We talked about this. He was on our show one time.
It probably makes him feel taller.
No, he said his dad, when they were kids, he made them wear shoes all the time. Like, legit. Like, they don't take their shoes off in their house ever. He leaves his shoes on until he goes to bed. That's a weird thing to know about him. But he called what Otani did last night the greatest single game offensive performance in the history of baseball.
The history?
I mean, it's kind of got to be in the conversation.
Only thing he didn't do was hit for the cycle. He didn't hit a salami. He didn't hit or the cycle, but everything else.
Yeah.
Everything extra base.
Stole bases.
Yeah.
Right?
No, you might be right. Yeah. It's just unbelievable. Now,
did you watch it? I didn't. I wish
I didn't watch the whole game. No, I wish I would have gotten news to like cut in.
I know, and I didn't get that. What's the best performance you ever watched? I wouldn't say witnessed personally, but you ever actually saw unfold as it went down?
Kobe's game. I watched that.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That's in the conversation.
You could feel that building. I watched Ice get like 50 one night, which is the only time I've ever seen it. I didn't. David got 71, but that was in L.A., I believe. Oh, yeah. I remember I watched him go get 50 on one of those remarkable nights. But last night was one of those that I don't think in my lifetime it'll happen again.
I was at a Nolan Ryan no-hitter.
See, so you witnessed that. I wish I could put that on a bucket list. But if you were in Miami and you saw that, you will never see a greater performance by any sport, I would say, in any sport, because this isn't, or is it Wilt getting 100? I mean, is
it? Might be. Yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable. But one game is like, it is an unbelievable one game, but just what he's done with this whole season is unbelievable. This is a guy who had Tommy John surgery.
And was probably gambling on baseball, allegedly.
I mean,
let's not forget that his interpreter's doing hard time somewhere on an island.
This is and mind you, now the home run he hit for number 51 was off a position player.
Well, it did kind of feel like, well, remember when Strahan kind of let Favre just kind of laid down for Strahan? It did feel a little bit like, let's get another one to really put the mustard on the hot dog. Let's finish this thing out right.
27 days ago, Otani got to the 40-40 club. Walk-off grand slam, put him in the 40-40 club. One of, what is he, was the fourth or fifth guy in the 40-40 club. I don't remember. I think the fourth. And then last night becomes the founding member of the 50-50 club, which is, it's unbelievable, man. I remember when Jose Canseco became the first guy to get to 40-40. I was like, this is never going to be seen again, because guys who hit like that don't run like that. And now, I mean, like Ronald Acuna last year hit 40 and had 70 stolen bases. But now you're talking about 50. The number of guys who have 50 home run seasons, it's like 25 guys.
Right.
How many of those how many stolen bases do you think Babe Ruth could get? And now put it into, how many do you think he could get in today's Major League Baseball? I'm guessing the pop time for catchers back in 1925.
They were a little bit slower, but
wasn't quite.
Yeah.
Not
Without
quite
beer.
I mean, wait till next year when we have the opportunity for 50-50 and 15 wins, 15 pitching wins. I mean, we could see a stat line that Otani puts together when and if he ever pitches on a regular basis again. The likes of which that literally we will never see broken. I mean, I can't imagine, at least in the next 15 years, that anybody's going to be able to walk up and do what he's capable of.
Well, the thing about this season that's going to be, it'll be hard for him to ever top this from a hitting standpoint, because in years when he pitches, he will never have this many at-bats.
True.
This is the most at-bats he's had in a season. It will be the most at-bats he ever has in a season, unless they decide you're only a hitter again. So I doubt he does 50-50 again, but also, like, who am I to doubt that this guy can do anything? Guy's a freak show. I didn't see him having 50-something stolen base potential ever. Like, the most stolen bases he had coming into the season was 26, and that was in 2021.
I want you to put him in the pantheon of American sports heroes. Where does he rank right now?
In sports heroes?
Just like when we think of, I mean, the greatness, and we're going to be talking about what we saw from Otani. When we talk about, whatever the star is in 20 years, we'll go, I remember a night when this Otani guy. But in the list of stars that the Q rating, where does he rank? Is he in the top 20?
No.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
No. Well, first of all, what baseball player is?
Well, yes, but he's doing things that if you were another baseball player who was speaking English on a regular basis and capable of doing the ads and capable of doing the sideline reports and capable of doing the post game where we hear his voice in the answer, he'd be top 10. It would be.
Is Aaron Judge top 10?
Yeah, I do think. Well,
I don't think he is.
Not
I don't think he's even
here,
close to
but
top 10.
let's talk about the rooftops in the Northeast. I mean, if we're going the persons that are paying attention, maybe not a lot in South Texas, but there's a lot more people up in the Northeast paying attention to it, and we're just not down here. We're playing football. So while we're not talking about, there's lots of the country that are. And I think that's why I put him in the top 10 maybe, but certainly ahead of Otani.
The biggest stars in the U.S. are football players and basketball players.
But baseball players have the ability when they are that good to transcend and join that. And
Dude, rewind life to about 5 years ago when people would tell you that Mike Trout was one of the best baseball players who's ever played. Mike Trout was never a star. He was like to the everyman in the U.S.
because he wasn't winning, and you have to combine the two. And
well, Otani's got that.
And now he does need to win now. We need to see some playoff stuff. We haven't seen that before. But even with that, even if he manages to go 60-50, he hits 10 more before the end of the season, steals 5 more, Dodgers win it all. I'll tell you, Mookie Betts will be a bigger name. Will still be a guy because
I don't think so. Not a bigger name.
Well, I'm just saying I will see him more because he can do the interview.
Oh, yeah.
He can do the commercial. He can go sit in with the ESPN guys and talk about all that. And Otani's flying back to Japan. I don't even think he talks to his team.
Dude, but the fact that Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman are on his team, nobody's talking about those two guys.
It's crazy. Well,
that's how unreal. Because this is the thing. I have long said the two best baseball players I've ever seen play baseball in my life are Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds. And I don't care what they're accused of. I don't care what you think they took. I saw them both before and after they presumably took steroids. Those are the two best baseball players that I have ever seen until now. Shohei Otani is a different thing. This is a unicorn. This is something we will never see anything like this again.
You get the sense when he does leave, when it is all said and done, and he's got a long way, that the moment he's gone, he will become this legend that we hardly remember. We all just will speak of him in these, like we talk about, guys that played 50 years ago, because quite frankly, we don't have the soundbite. He's not personal. His game is not personalized to the average fan, because every time I hear anything from him, it's not him, it's his interpreter.
Ichiro was the same way, and Ichiro was beloved.
Yeah, but I
don't know why.
I always felt like Ichiro was kind of a man of the people. He didn't.
Why?
I don't know why.
He couldn't tell you that.
But I don't feel like Otani is. I really get the sense that Otani could fly on a separate jet, show up at the Dodger game, not know any of the dudes, because all he's doing is batting. He's not communication. I'm going to go hit the ball as far as I can, and if I get on base and I see skin first or second skin, I'm going. I'm going to steal. That's it. I'll see you tomorrow. I don't have to talk with my teammates. They can't talk to me. I'm not joking around with him with my interpreter in the middle. So it just seems like he's this two-dimensional super character that isn't real.
Now, and there are guys who eventually, most guys who reach that superstar level will eventually start to figure out some English. And remember when Dirk came to the league? Dirk didn't speak a lick.
Well, I keep waiting on Canelo.
Canelo, he speaks English. He doesn't like to speak it publicly.
He says tecate on a commercial. That's what he says.
Nikola Jokic didn't speak English when he got to the league. Now he does. Yao never really got comfortable speaking English, but he was able to, if he needed to do a commercial, he could do a commercial.
But Yao and those guys, I felt like they wanted to. I don't think Otani has any desire to do any of this.
I don't think he does either. What's funny is, I'm not like for me, I don't care about how these guys interview, because I'm not going to sit there and listen to a baseball interview. But like Ellie De La Cruz, the guy that shortstop for the Reds, is like one of the most exciting players in baseball. If he does speak any English, I've never heard it or seen it. I think he only speaks Spanish in public. But he's one of the most fun players to watch, and that's all I care about. I will say there's something endearing about a guy who learns the language.
Who's trying, yes.
I think of Gennady Golovkin, who is like, dude, like hearing him talk, that made me fall in love with him even more as a fighter. Like it's just like I loved watching him box, but when you hear him talk, it's like, oh, this guy's awesome. Oh, drama show. You see the drama show, like, and then even Khabib Nurmagomedov, where he was like, this is number one bull bleep. Like talking about Conor McGregor, and like he doesn't know quite how to put together the sayings, but what he's trying to get across. I find that endearing. Maybe Otani does that. He just hasn't done it yet.
If I was Dave Silver and the greatest player since Wilt was playing, imagine if LeBron James didn't speak English.
Yeah,
the biggest guy ever. Manfred is stuck with the greatest player of not just this generation, but since Willie, you feel like, since Willie Mays was at his peak, for 2 generations that we're seeing something. And that guy can't even do an interview. I can't even have him sit on the panel anywhere on baseball night in America when he's not playing. I can't have him promoting baseball. I can't have him do any of that.
Would Jokic have 2 MVPs if he didn't speak English?
Probably not. I think that maybe. I don't want to take too much away from not speaking
especially these
tongue.
Things that are voted on, because they're like, oh, well, what am I gonna do? But I say that, but Otani is gonna win the MVP every single year and doesn't speak English. I don't need it. I don't need him to speak. I just want to watch him hit. I want to watch him pitch. Like I'm in love with his game, and that's all I care about. I don't need. The truth is, when most of these athletes talk, they make you not like them.
I agree. It has nothing to do with the interviews. It just has something to do with them being part of my sports orbit when they're not playing. And I think that's so important for the superstars. Am I talking about you when you're not on the court?
But see, for me, I can't think of a baseball player that I do.
Well, therein lies the rub, but there's certainly, Aaron Judge comes to mind. And when you brought up Freddie Freeman, there are guys that do come up in conversation outside of baseball.
If you're talking about Freddie Freeman outside of baseball, you're like a...
Freddie seems to be always in the news. His kid was sick. He was sick. I know a lot about him.
Yeah.
I know more about Freddie. I know about Mookie.
Oh, you know about Otani?
And what?
Listen, his interpreter's in prison.
That's all I know. Literally, that's all I know about him.
That's all you need to know.
See? There you go.
That's
everything
all
else
you need
has
to
been
know.
redacted. Well, we can't talk about that. There's a black line through the redacted part of his gambling.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Listen, I don't know anything about Shota, but I know when he pitches, I'm trying to get my money down.
Fired up, though.
That's right. All right, we'll hit some college football coming up next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, it is a football Friday, and of course that means we're at a high school football stadium.
Absolutely. Getting ready for the great football weekend. We'll talk Aggies with Andrew Monaco. He will join us at 3:35.
Then we've got John Machota with The Athletic at 5:15 to talk Cowboys football as they get set for the Baltimore Ravens.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
What is GMTVCC? That's a mouthful, but translation for GMTVCC.com is Give Me the VIN Classic and Collector Cars. It's a brand new buying division of Give Me the VIN, but it's for classic and collector cars. Experienced pro buyers will appraise an offer on your 1970 Hemi Cuda or 1988 Fox Body Mustang or your granddad's old 1985 square body Chevy truck. GMTVCC.com is where you go to get real money for classic and collector cars to get paid now. That's GMTVCC.com, brought to you by Give Me the VIN.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. I had an advantage. My legs were a weapon. 6,109 rushing yards, still unbeaten records. That's why I bet at BetUS.com. They offer American sports bettors an advantage. The industry's biggest bonus, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And get expert picks and predictions on their very own BetUS TV. Take advantage. Join me online at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS, where the game begins.
Howdy, Ags. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, inviting you to watch all A&M games at the Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road. Owned by Chip Ingram, class of '98, the Angry Elephant is known for their liberal cocktails at conservative prices and the best hot dog in Texas. Since 2012, the Angry Elephant's been the place to watch A&M, and this year is no different. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Rue Pub at 281 and Redland Road. The Angry Elephant. Like your bar, love your Aggies. Giggle.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. I think everyone knows that driving while using a cell phone, texting, posting videos is dangerous. Study after study shows that use of a cell phone like this is the same or worse than driving under the influence. Yet, many people insist on using their cell phones while driving. I've had many cases where my client was injured by one of these people because they chose to use their cell phone. Who are these people? You and I have both seen them, probably today. Men, women, old, young, minivan drivers, truck drivers, 18-wheeler drivers. I know this. The same person that chooses to use their cell phone while driving is the same person who will lie about it later just to avoid taking responsibility. If you choose to use a cell phone while driving and hurt someone, you'd better hope they don't call me. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, call me. Jason Thompson, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400.
Football season is here. Hi, Jason Minix here from The Blitz. You want to have more fun watching football this year? Play the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy. Over 1 million fans got in the game last year by making picks on Underdog. You can join in and win up to 325 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats. I know I made a lot of money last year playing at Underdog Fantasy on the Pick'em game. You too can as well. And it's easy to get signed up. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download their mobile app. Use my promo code STAR and Underdog will give you a highly discounted pick to use on your first Pick'em entry, plus a first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Promo code STAR to claim your new customer offer of a gimme first pick and your deposit offer when you get signed up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or go to ncpgambling.org.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SALE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SALE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SALE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
What's that? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime! Showtime indeed. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Texas A&M fighting Aggies. They got a big one this weekend, Rob. So the Longhorns. These guys have gone out of their way.
Well, it's all about scheduling the right opponent at the right time. It's all about getting the guys in that are going to offer you just enough to make you feel good about yourself.
Both those Texas teams should walk away feeling damn good about themselves, and if they don't, there's been a real problem, because these are not like middling teams. These are bad teams that they're going to be playing. Bowling Green and Monroe.
University of Louisiana, come on.
No, that's taken.
Oh,
that's taken. They're Louisiana Monroe.
Lama.
Lamo.
As opposed to Lafayette, which is ooh la la.
That's right. No, they're Louisiana University now. They've changed that.
They're ooh la la to me and always will be.
Mama called them ooh la la. I'm going to call them ooh la la.
But there is something to be. Texas, I think, this is perfect. It's perfect. Everything is shaken out so perfectly for Texas that your quarterback gets hurt just in time for your backup to get seasoned against UTSA and Monroe.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree. If you were going to have to deal with this, it's like if you knew you were going to have to get him some playing time at some point. This is the time for this to happen, no doubt.
But on the other side of that, after that, the only thing that can happen now to Arch is either because we know as soon as yours gets better, it's his job. There's no reason to sit him down. But Arch could go out and not play well and then have to sit, and that's going to kind of be festering. And if that's your only worry, that's not a bad place to be. On the other A&M, on the other hand, there's some questions that have to be answered. Now, Bowling Green ain't awful, but they ain't good.
Bowling Green's pretty awful.
Yeah, they're pretty awful. But the Aggies got to answer a question because Wegman is supposed to be a lot of things.
Yeah.
And if he is what he was supposed to be or could be, the Aggies could also be a lot of things. Marcel, he offers an entirely different offense. If you're going to go with him, you need to decide now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to go.
The difference between what Texas has and what A&M has is
there's no shift in policy. They're going to do exactly.
Texas, Sark's not, what do we do with the game plan now? A&M, it has to be a totally different offense installed.
And therein lies kind of the problem because Wegman hasn't lost his job yet. He's going to get the opportunity to come back and play with health and maybe find some things that he didn't in one game. But he might not be the answer. So A&M's kind of still in this holding mode. They're getting ready for Bowling Green with one kind of offense, knowing full well when Wegman arrives, about 30% of the offense they're going into this week will go away. I mean, we're not going to have Wegman rolling to the edge and making RPO decisions and whether to tuck it and run it or to send it downfield. That's just not part of what Wegman does. That's what concerns me about where A&M is because they still can't plant their flag and say, this is who we're trying to be because, quite frankly, they don't know which quarterback is going to be with them to help them to become that.
Yeah, I think the other thing that both Texas and A&M have going for them is, well, for A&M, they've already started conference play. They're underway. They're 1-0 in conference. That's fantastic. But after this week, both A&M and Texas have a soft SEC game before getting into the fire.
Well, I'm not going to put Missouri as a soft game.
No, Arkansas before Mizzou. They play Arkansas before Missouri.
Right.
That should be a soft game. Mizzou is not a soft game. But I think A&M getting Arkansas, not to kick off conference play because they've already done that, but as a transition game between your softies and SEC play, and then for Texas, Mississippi State is so bad.
Yeah, they're the worst in the conference.
They are the worst team in the SEC right now, and I don't know if that's going to last forever. But right now, they are the worst one. They're at home for that game, and that's what you get before you get that, and then you get a week off before you get that Oklahoma-Georgia run. And you know what, man? The more I've looked at Texas's schedule, it
lines up pretty good, man.
It really does. The way things have shaken out for them, that Oklahoma-Georgia run is really going to decide if they're the best team in the country or not. If they win those two games, I think they finish the season unbeaten. But mostly because Florida's not as good as I thought they could be.
You're being kind.
Arkansas is not as good as I thought they could be. I mean, obviously the A&M game that's one of those wild cards.
There's
there's
not a trap game, and that's all you can hope for. There's nobody you look at and go, well, we're going to take them too lightly, and if we do, we'll lose. Vanderbilt ain't.
No.
Texas just show up and do their thing.
But you know what?
Same thing.
Kentucky
could be
almost
a trap.
beat Georgia. Who knows? But I think, and that could be a trap game because that's a week before you play A&M. So that you've got a rivalry game at Arkansas, then you've got this random game with Kentucky, and then a rivalry game at A&M. maybe that could be a sleepy spot. But, yeah, to me, Texas, those two games are going to decide their season. Whereas, for A&M, I think –
Then the sad thing is as well as it's set up for Texas, A&M's got a soft schedule as well.
They really do.
I think A&M's got the easiest of all the SEC schedules, and I'm not alone in that.
With the exception of Missouri and Texas, I think A&M should win every game. And that would put A&M at if let's just say that chalk holds.
They'd be top 10 by then.
They're 9-3. Mm-hmm. Dude, when's the last time A&M had a 9-3 season? Johnny?
No, second year of Jim. We had a 9-3 under Jimbo. I mean, you win a bowl game and suddenly you're 9-3. You know what I mean?
Oh, I mean a 9-3 regular. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you always play 12 regular season games. Like, when's the last time they won?
So you're thinking that everything holds chalk, they lose, and
if they lose to Missouri and Texas,
and finish the season at 9-3, I think that would be above.
Are you a playoff team?
No,
you got to be 10-2.
Yeah, 3 losses ain't gonna get anybody.
I think so too. No. But you know what? Both of those games are at home.
1 loss, and your only losses are to Kentucky or Missouri and Notre Dame. Yeah, 2 losses. It's still so tight. I don't think they even get in with 2 losses. The wins would have
they'd
to
be a 1-loss SEC team.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying the wins would have to be extraordinary. The loss to Notre Dame will stick in people's brains all season long, especially what happened to them just right after. So I don't think Texas, unless there's only 1 loss, they beat Texas, lose to Missouri or the other way around, they're not going to the playoff this year. It's just not in the cards, and it wasn't in the plans, quite frankly. It was in the dreams, but the fact of the matter is this is a rebuilt program.
This is the other thing, though, about Notre Dame. Notre Dame, when you look at their schedule, they could easily be a 2-loss team, and then there's no shame in that loss to Notre Dame. I know that Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois, but they followed that up by absolutely dog-walking Purdue in Purdue. And their schedule is so
one of the things that A&M has to overcome is not only the loss, but the perception of what A&M is. You have to win twice. And there's other teams out there that have to win twice, not only on the field, but you got to win the PR battle to actually for people to believe other than, that's a one-off, you're not that good. I mean, that A&M has to get over that. And that's why I think they're not getting into the tournament. Just like Penn State is going to have to, you got to dot the I and cross the T. You don't get to back into it. And Penn State and A&M are in the same boat. You have not proven to anybody that you can win a big game. So you're going to have to not only get close, but you're going to have to win a big game in the regular season, and even then cross your fingers until you get the benefit of the doubt.
Well, to me, if you find a way to go, 7-1 in SEC play.
Yeah,
or 8-1, I guess it would be. That's unavoidable. You cannot not take that team seriously.
I completely agree. Last year, I don't know how this tournament is going to shake out. I don't know how voters are going to chase this. I don't know how the group of 5 is going to work. I don't know. Are we going to come to a situation where we're letting a group of 5 guy in, but they're not even close to being in contention? I don't know how this is all going to shake.
I'll tell you what.
Last year before, 2-loss team in the SEC, they better be in the title contention. They better be in the discussion. I'm not sure if that matters anymore because the Big Ten is just about as tough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe that's taken away.
But you got 12 freaking spots.
I concur in spades, and I think you're right, but until I actually see how this shakes out, I've seen college football send an undefeated team home like last year, so I don't know.
Any SEC team or Big Ten team that is 10-2 is going to go to the tournament.
I think Florida State thought that about an ACC team last year. You know what I mean? And you lose one dude and you don't get in. And
but the ACC was a junk pile. Everyone knew it. And everyone also knew that Florida State was dead without that quarterback, they were.
I agree.
That was like extenuating circumstances.
But we
the
didn't think it would happen,
and the Big Ten, the SEC and the Big Ten, we know now are different animals than everything else.
But if there's one other Big Ten team that steps up, I do think that for the most part there is a confidence deficit in some teams, and then there's an overconfidence in others, and you tend to kind of lean on the overconfidence when you know, like Notre Dame is going to get blown out in a big game, but there's the confidence level. They're finally going to get one. When you look at teams like A&M and Penn State, and I'm going to start throwing Florida State in there, and now Clemson, you're kind of like, yeah, you won, but yeah.
Here's what I think. You are. Let's just say, if Notre Dame doesn't make it, it opens up another spot. but there's going to be at least one Big 12 school, at least one ACC school, a G5 school, and let's say Notre Dame. I think it's much more likely that we see 3 or 4 SEC schools and Big Ten schools each fill out that bracket than, the second best team in the Big 12.
I think that the Big 12 is going to put 2 teams in. I think that the conference champion and second place is going to get in. I think Oklahoma State and Utah right now are in the lead to go there, but I do think they're going to put 2 teams in.
So if we say
they're going to be entertaining as hell.
Okay, 2 Big 12, and let's just say 2 ACC, even though I don't even think that's going to happen.
I don't think that.
I think it's going to be 1. Let's say let's just for argument's sake say 2. That's 4. A G5 team and Notre Dame, that's 6. That means 3 SEC and 3 Big Ten. There is no way if A&M is 10-2, they would be the third best SEC team.
They would have knocked off at least one of those contenders, and I'll agree with you there. If A&M beats Texas and they're in and they're double-digit wins or they're at 9, they're in, and especially given the time that they would have beat Texas.
I was going to say I think
Missouri's too early, and Missouri I think will wear out. I think that they're not deep. They're talented, but they're not deeply talented. And I think that as you go through the SEC, you've got to be talented and deeply talented. And I think they're going to lose a few, even if they do beat Missouri. So the shine gets off that apple.
A&M does lose games they're not supposed to lose almost every year.
And until they prove to the rest of the world that they're capable of more than just the one-off upset, that they're capable of sustaining 2 consecutive games and beating them, they're always going to get the negative side of the vote. And that's justified. I agree with that. You've got to earn your way there. Some teams are given the benefit of the doubt more than others, and A&M has proven that you can't until they prove it to you. And up till now, they haven't.
We'll talk about the rest of what's going on in college football in Texas on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic, happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Still working a couple of accidents as you get into your morning commute on Loop 410 eastbound as you approach Interchange Parkway, Austin Highway. Got an accident in the right lane. A little bit of stop and go from Nacogdoches. And on 1604 eastbound at Shanefield, far west side of town, that wreck is cleared, still causing about a 5-7 minute delay from 151. The wreck at 1604 westbound off-ramp to I-10 has cleared. Connector ramp reopened. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
Train heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Save on O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner. Get 2 cans of O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner for just $8. Valid in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran-owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets? Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesometix.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SALE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SALE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SALE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Point. Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Oh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
Don't you agree that it's a wonderful thing to save a dog's life? I certainly do, and I invite you to go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a $15 a month donation right now. Do it now, and Thomas J. Henry will generously match all charitable donations made this month online at puppyfoodbank.org. It's your chance to help save thousands of pets in our community, so please give a little to help save little guys like you. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org right now, and they'll send you a very nice gift.
What's better than one win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything. Like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and sauté. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up, the food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Time is of the essence with COVID-19. Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Learn more at treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Bowling Green Falcons, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
As we talk college football, I bet one of you guys probably wants to go to the UTSA game. They're going to play 2:30 Saturday, the Alamo Dome, taking on Houston Christian.
I wonder if those Christians are going to be tailgating.
Former home of Bailey Zappi.
That's right.
What a guy, that Bailey Zappi. Let's see. You know what? We've been doing it on the phone. I want to reward the YouTubers. I want to grow our YouTube channel. Let's do this. You know what? I'm gonna come up with some trivia about UTSA.
All right.
Just something that they've done this year. I'm just trying to think of how I want to do it.
While you're looking, this Pac-12 thing, while I doubt it is really going to ever turn into anything, is, for those of you unaware, the Pac-12 is looking to grow, and they certainly are looking at Texas and UTSA and UTEP and another school, a couple of schools maybe up in the Dallas region might be in consideration for an invite to the Pac-12.
I think North Texas or what?
North Texas. I think that,
Gross.
SMU, well,
SMU's in the ACC now.
Well,
they ain't leaving.
are, but they're not getting any money from them. They joined with the plan like, yeah, we want to come play with you guys, but they're not going to give them any money.
But they know the money's coming. The Pac-12, the money's never going to come.
Well, it could. And it could come.
It ain't going to come like Power 4 money.
I think they're looking to get in the Dallas market is what I'm getting at. And I think they'd like to be in Texas. And UTSA looks like a prime candidate to really match, and North Texas too, to really match the types of teams that are going to be in the Pac-12. We're talking about directional city-based schools that are kind of commuter-based, that have a budget and are looking to grow. That's what the Pac-12 appears to be.
Yeah, we'll talk to Coach Traylor about that on Monday.
But you got to win to get invited.
That's true. Winning. Hey, so if you're watching on YouTube, first person to put in the YouTube, who scored the touchdown? The one touchdown that UTSA scored last week. Who scored that touchdown against Texas? You can go watch UTSA this weekend. Play Houston Christian at the Alamo Dome. There you go. UTSA against Houston Christian. I don't know enough about Houston Christian to really break down what this game's going to look like, but I hope UTSA comes out and makes a statement and gets their bleep together, because they've looked like trash the last 2 weeks, and quite frankly, they played a game against Kennesaw that was closer than it should have ever been. And they're about to get into conference play. And going out to East Carolina, that ain't going to be an easy trip. So they need to build some confidence right now. Or they need to figure out if they need to make a change at quarterback.
I was about to say, I think settle into quarterback. Whoever that's going to be. McCown has had its good days and bad, but figure out who it's going to be and go with it.
Gilberto, Frank Harris is a good guess, but no. He is
hadn't scored in a year.
Well, but not even a full year, I guess, just a few months. But no, he's not going to be scoring. For the first time in a long time, he's not going to be scoring for UTSA anymore.
After 8. Speaking of, as they search, this weekend at the UTSA game downtown, they've got a new idea to help along with the NIL. Have you guys seen this? So after the score, after the UTSA scores, they're going to flash on the scoreboard a QR code for flash NIL investment. So after the score, you can get your phone, whether you're at the game or watching it on TV, and if they show the hashtag, you can immediately donate to the you can log on and donate to the UTSA football program collective after scores. So we got to GoFundMe going.
It's like tipping.
It is. We're tipping for extra.
Oh, you made me happy.
Effort.
You scored a touchdown. That makes me happy.
Here's
$5.
I think there's future in this, AJ. I think that we need to have a thing where all 11 out there, and you see a guy do something good, you tip him a quarter. It's a play. You get 100 plays a game, you can make some money.
Yeah.
Nice tackle, $5.
Yeah.
Bing.
I'd like that.
Nice pass, $10. That was a $20 pass. Bing.
Bing. Yeah, I'm for that.
And we'd have a running total above the players' heads as they're playing.
It's not a video game.
Well, they could have the GoFundMe, and we could have each player's goal. Like this player wants to buy a new Ferrari, and he's got $100,000 in the bank, and just trying to top it off, and he'll have that little red thing where so far to our goal, and he just scored a touchdown, and another 1,000 comes kicking in. Suddenly he's driving his Ferrari.
I think it's not a crazy idea, and I won't be surprised if it takes off. Houston is at Cincinnati this weekend, and.
Boy, that's an old Southwest Conference battle, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what to think of either of these teams, quite frankly. Cincinnati, they could easily be 3-0 had they beaten Pitt, and they had Pitt on the ropes. But I'm not crazy about this Cincinnati team, and Houston, they have been Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
We saw them go to the wire with Oklahoma somehow, and we've seen outside of that, I mean, they got stomped by UNLV. Stomped. They bounced back with a nice win over Rice this weekend. I'm not really sure what to think of this Houston team right now. Rice, I think, is in for a really long day. Rice is playing Army. Normally, I don't like to bet service academies as favorites. It's just generally a bad rule, or a good rule of thumb is they're great as underdogs because they're hard to blow out because they control the ball, they shorten the game. The problem for Rice is Rice can't stop the run. Rice's defense is built to stop the pass. Army's not going to pass, and Rice's offense is so bad. I mean,
time of possession is going to be 40-20.
Oh, man, it's going to be rough. And I knew Rice's offense was going to struggle this year because they lost Luke McCaffrey, and he was basically 90% of their offense last year. It's worse than I thought it was going to be. It is so bad at Rice. I think Army ends up dog-walking Rice. Texas Tech has an interesting game this weekend against Arizona State up there at Jones Stadium. And Texas Tech is, the loss to Washington State was not competitive, but we've seen this team put up some points. They put up 66 last week against North Texas. They can throw it around. I kind of like them. I don't really like this Arizona State team. I didn't like Arizona State coming into the season. And
Heisman quarterback. They got a Heisman candidate quarterback.
A Heisman candidate receiver is really what they've got. But they beat Mississippi State, and everybody was like, "Ooh, I'm in hindsight, I don't know that a 7-point win over Mississippi State is anything to write home about."
But I do think rolling into San Marcos is. They're not going to get nearly the credit that around the country that they probably deserve for beating an FCS team.
How's Texas State compared to Texas Tech?
I think very much the same. When we think of the offensive capabilities, I think that man for man, Tech's certainly a little bit more talented, but they're going to be playing against the same style of offense that they saw in Texas State. They're going to try to get it downfield and move the ball around in space.
Baylor heads out to the mountains to take on Coach Prime. Here's what I think about that game. Colorado, we know Colorado can't run the ball. Baylor, the question is, when you handicap a Colorado game, it's real simple. Is the team Colorado playing good at defending the pass? And Baylor returned all 4 guys from their secondary last year. They are 3rd in the country in EPA per play allowed against the pass. They do not let you throw on them. Colorado is going to have to find a way to run the ball and have success. I don't think they can do it. No. So I think Baylor gets a good win on the road against Colorado.
If Aranda gets it, it'll save his gig. I don't think he's long for Baylor.
I don't think he is either.
I think the 2 games in the Big 12 this weekend, it's Tech ASU and it's Oklahoma State Utah. And I think the winner of the Oklahoma State Utah game has the inside track to the Big 12.
Do you know if Cam Rising plays?
Yeah, and that's up in the air right now.
The combined age of the quarterbacks for Utah and Oklahoma State is 49 years old. To put that into perspective,
there's NFL games, younger quarterbacks.
The combined age of the Colts-Bears game is like 44. Yep. So these are grown-ass men. I would, in general, I think there's way too many questions about that Utah game to put any money on it. But it would be because Cam Rising, the finger that's hurt is on his throwing hand. Mm-hmm. So even if he is playing, he's not going to be right. Just play the under. That's the safest bet.
Play the under, and if Oklahoma State can get running back involved, Ali, whatever.
Well, they've been unable to do that so far.
And against Arkansas, they really couldn't, and they fell ass backwards into that win. But I do think whoever wins that game's got early on the inside track to winning the Big 12 and getting into the tournament.
And then the Frogs and the Ponies, a battle of the DFW area, TCU and SMU. And
which team is Dykes coaching? That's all I care about. He's coached them both.
It changes.
Whatever side he's on, sends to win.
They rotate. No, This is, I think, it's going to be a really close competitive game. TCU's a 2-point favorite on the road, but SMU's impressed me so far. You know, it lost to BYU's not ideal, but I don't think SMU's bad. I think they've just got to commit to a quarterback. They're bouncing around still on quarterbacks. I don't like that. I thought they had like one of the best G5 quarterbacks out there. I say G5. They're not in G5 anymore. But last year, Preston Stone, and he was back, and they're just like, we're not sure about him now. I don't get that. But
what's the rivalry name? They have a funny name. They're fighting for like the
I don't know. I'm sure
like
they
the
have one.
Skillet game or something like that. I think they have.
I don't know. I mean, they were both Southwest Conference teams, but
yeah, it's the Iron Skillet.
Iron Skillet. The cast iron skillet?
I guess.
You know, you're not supposed to wash it.
Well, those rich folks, I didn't even know they knew what a cast iron skillet was.
You don't wash a cast iron skillet.
No, you just rub some salt in it and pour some more oil.
That's right.
Kind of like me.
All right. We'll take a look at some of the rest of the NFL games coming up, and then when we do the daily lines, we'll look at the rest of college football as well. It is the Morning Huddle right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. The Cowboys take on the Baltimore Ravens at home.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. I'm one of 5 million active members. I play every day because you know why? It's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports because I get to use my knowledge and apply it to win some serious money. And as a player, they invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if your pick don't hit. You can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with just as simple 4 correct picks. It is that easy to play. You can have fun. It's simple. It's a great playing experience, and you can use your knowledge. How well is Tyreek Hill going to do this week? How is Dak Prescott going to play? If you know, you go play. It's Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code Alamo and get $50 instantly when you play. That's code Alamo on Prize Picks. You get $50 instantly when you play just 5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas, open to the public 7 days a week with a country club feel. It's football season, so book your tee times early at golfclubtexas.com and stick around and watch the games. Make Golf Club of Texas your football headquarters where you can watch every game. They'll even stay open until the end of every NFL game, including Thursday, Sunday, and Monday nights. Get into the Tin Cup Bar at the Golf Club of Texas, Highway 90 at Briggs Ranch Road. Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
With Progressive, you get more than savings. You get access to us through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, Jamie. Giving me all these ways to stay in touch so I have no excuse not to. Well, you're in luck, because this guy's in the market for a new BFF.
Actually, all our customers can contact us this way.
Oh. Yeah, no, I was just kidding.
But I am always up for Taco Pizza!
Jigsaw! Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Hey, Cowboys fans, want to kick off tailgate season with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, Rowdy, and a Dallas Cowboys legend? Stop by the HEB Plus, located at 9238 North Loop 1604 West and Bandera Road in San Antonio from 9 a.m. to noon on Sunday, September 29th. You'll even have a chance to enter to win tickets to an upcoming Dallas Cowboys home game, as well as tour the Hall of Fame bus and more. Don't miss out as we roll into town for the Dallas Cowboys tailgate tour presented by HEB.
It's Ewald Kubota's summer sales event, and now's the time to beat the heat with cool pricing. Like up to $4,000 off on the Kubota SVL 97, or take 0 down, 0 APR for 36 months, plus an additional Ewald discount of $500. The Kubota SVL 97 is one tough track loader, built to handle rugged terrain, all in the comfort of an AC cab. Come to any of our 11 locations and beat the heat during the Ewald Kubota's summer sales event.
Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. From high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone, including blackjack tournaments. From the owners of the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, the Big Blind is locally owned and operated, offering daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 and Redland Road.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-375-2577. 800-375-2577. 800-375-2577.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chungla. Sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic, happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com. San Antonio Sports Center.
Shohei Otani creates the 50-50 club, a 3-homer, 10 RBI night, sets a record that won't be soon broken. In the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys welcome the Baltimore Ravens into Jerry World, a kick you can catch live right here on San Antonio Sports Star at 2:30. College football, Texas A&M welcomes Bowling Green into College Station. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right, let's go to the Buyers Brigade hotline where we have the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys joining us here on the Morning Huddle. Good morning, Coach Mike McCarthy. How are you, sir?
Doing well. How's it going, AJ? Rob here?
Rob is here as well.
Coach.
Yeah, we're doing great, Coach.
Yeah.
Thanks for getting up with us early today. It's probably been a long week for you. There hadn't been a lot of these where you guys have just been whooped. What's been the feeling around the Star this week? How's everybody? Is it more like this is a one-off, or I assume after one loss, there's no signs of panic in your locker room?
Yeah, no, not at all. I think clearly when you have games where, particularly you get down by a couple scores and then it shifts and you can't get the momentum back. You have to really take a step back and just always go through the evaluation of film. I think it's critical to come in regardless of the outcome on Sunday and have a very detailed evaluation process on Monday, and that's what we do, win or lose, and it gives you clarity on, specifically how you're going to work moving forward. I mean, if you sit there and wrestle around with all the emotion and so forth, you don't have clarity in the things you really need to work on. And at the end of the day, this game's about fundamentals. We all understand that fundamentals are maybe not going to quite be where you want them to be in September. Some teams are a little further ahead than others in particular areas, but you have to get that thing evaluated. You got to get the focal points, in place, and because you always apply what you did in the last contest to the future game plan, and that's really how it went down. So we had a very open, honest, accountable team meeting, and we call it Tell the Truth Monday. So just to make sure, and to be honest with you, it's a bigger concern for me when you win those kind of games, because you don't want anybody to take their foot off the gas and go, "Whoo, hey man, we're pretty damn good." And frankly, just we've got way too much love for Week 1. Frankly, I didn't think we played that well in Cleveland. I mean, we had some great moments in Cleveland, and we were able to jump on them and get out in front. But there was plenty to clean up in that game. So, so I think you just got to keep in touch with that on Mondays, and that's how it went this week.
Yeah, the clarity, getting your ass kicked. You can wake up and not make any excuses for anything. And I do like the idea of that clarity. Let's talk about your offensive line. It just doesn't look like your typical offensive line, Coach. Is it a lot of it? Obviously, you got some young guys, and you know how preseason now is kind of truncated and you can't get the work in. Can you blame a lot of that on just the way that preseason is now, that you just don't get the time with your offensive line? And what's next to get the coordination that you're so good at finding your line? What's next to get them there?
Oh, I think it's part of the process, and and I think like anything, I mean, if we're going to highlight the negatives, for opinions, I don't think it's clarity on exactly where we are. I think the offensive line, regardless of the score of the game, we had a couple guys, particular inside players, that played well. So that just goes back to my first answer. You got to evaluate without the emotion, and I get we're on a radio show, and I don't agree with the.
But Coach, numbers don't lie. The offensive line is terrible right now. I mean, 32nd, 37th, and for Zach Martin on guard play, it's just not thing that I've ever seen from your line before.
What are you talking about?
I'm looking at numbers. You got two all-pro offensive guards in Smith and Martin that are ranked 32nd and 37th respectively by Pro Football Focus in line and run blocking. This is not something I've seen from those guys before.
Pro Football Focus?
Well, I'm just looking at numbers that they're throwing at me, Coach, and I'm looking at what I saw last week, and this is so abhorrent to anything I've ever seen from your line before. I'm trying to figure out how we got here.
All right, Rob, I disagree.
Oh, okay. Respectfully. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Respectful. Well, because, there's more to run blocking than just, what happens with the guy over you. I mean, there's other things that are going on in our run game, and I can tell you right now, I'm not worried about the two guards.
Me either, but the numbers show me something went on that went there, and this is just not what I'm accustomed to seeing from you guys.
Disagree with you, Rob. You're doing a hell of a job.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
Hey,
and
Coach,
I disagree with that, too.
Head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, brought to you by...
You're right. I disagree with that.
Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Coach, Baltimore Ravens come in. They're 0-2. Like, people could talk about what you guys did last week. The Ravens have to feel like a sense of desperation. This was a team that was looked at as a real Super Bowl contender coming into the season. I mean, your guys are looking at a wounded tiger here. How do you prepare for a team that is much better than what their performance has been so far?
Well, I think it's really the same conversation. I mean, they played two games. I think you have to. We've obviously watched both their games and understand the momentum swing in the particular last game. But we're preparing for the team that also the cut ups and the information from last year. So yeah, I mean, we're preparing for the team that played in the AFC Championship game, and that that's how we view them. And once again, you have to take these one at a time. And both teams it's week 3 for Christ's sake.
Right. Lamar Jackson, a unique threat. How do you prepare for a guy like that? Is Trey playing Lamar running around in the backfield?
Trey did a nice job with the prep this week. I thought particularly yesterday. So, yeah, I think in Lamar's that's a hard guy to emulate for sure because he's so dynamic when he pulls the ball down, but his ability to extend plays, particularly from the pocket, his time clock is unique, and the thing that makes him even more special is when he pulls it down. He can score from anywhere on the field.
The Ravens have a new defense with McDonald headed out to Seattle. What do you see different about their defensive scheme this year than in years past?
Well, there's such a strong history, with what they've done there schematically. I think the biggest thing is you have a new coordinator, so you don't really have two games to see his rhythm and his pattern of thinking. So that's part of the unscouted look challenge that September brings to you. When we talk about that, we're not just talking about the players and their schemes, but also the play callers. So, but it's they've had the same defensive system for a couple of decades now. So they're very very challenging, and we're just trying to make sure our guys are ready to go for whatever they throw at us.
Yesterday's injury report, we had some guys back. Anybody we need to be paying close attention to coming to Sunday?
No, I feel good. I feel like we're getting better.
Yeah.
Head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, joins us here courtesy of AA Best Bail Bonds. Coach, a win, if you guys do get a win here, get back that on that home win streak, do you feel like if you said 3 weeks into the season you guys are 2-1, would you be happy with where you guys are, like just with generally how you've played so far this season?
I don't think I've never gone about it that way. I mean, all I think about is winning and then evaluating and improving the preparation each week to win the next one. I mean, that's really. I mean, you have to keep the focus clean. We understand we have a job responsibility to answer questions about narratives that have nothing to do with winning, and I think our guys do a good job of that respectfully. But yeah, it's about winning, but the result is really secondary to the process and the grind of improvement. Because if you take care of the prep and improvement every week, you're gonna win the games that you're going to win plenty of games. So I think that's just us staying on point and just keeping it about winning.
Dalvin Cook, a lot of people asking about him, a lot of people saying that, maybe it's time to call up Dalvin. How's Dalvin looked in practice, and have you guys given any consideration to bringing him up to the big team?
Yeah, I think Dalvin's done a really good job since he's been here. I think the biggest adjustment for him is just like any veteran to come in here is the language hurdle that you have to get over. So he looks more and more comfortable. Obviously, the run courses and the things that we do here, he's very natural at it. So yeah, he's gotten better each week and looks more comfortable. But we'll like we always do, we'll go through today and tomorrow and make those decisions at the end of the week.
I know you've been busy all week, Coach. You get a chance to see Aaron running around last night on Thursday Night Football?
No, I'm sorry. No, I didn't.
Oh, they were wrong then. They said on the halftime show, they said, "Oh, I know Coach McCarthy's in his office watching this," and I remember that, Aaron. Shows what they know on these TV talking heads.
Steady work afoot.
That is head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, joining us courtesy of AA Best Bail Bonds. Coach, good luck to you this week, and hopefully we're talking to you after a win next week, Coach.
Start a new streak.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. All guests appear via the Buyers Barricade guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chungla. Sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Let's see what our own Reverend Charles has to say about reparation.
Oh, Lord. I've preached this sermon many times. If you want your reparations, I hope you get it. Because commandment number 6 is thou shalt not covet what thy neighbor have. and don't look at his wife, and don't look at his wife's ass neither.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Have you or a family member been arrested? The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, can help regardless of the legal battle you are facing, personal injury or criminal defense. Attorney Jesse Hernandez and his team are ready to fight for you. Calls are answered 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Call 210-807-8656 or visit jessehernandezlaw.com. That's 210-807-8656 or jessehernandezlaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it.
800-385-6247. 800-385-6247. 800-385-6247. That's 800-385-6247.
The UTSA Roadrunners are back home in the Alamo Dome this Saturday against Houston Christian. It's the UTSA Roadrunners Hispanic Heritage Game and Salute to First Responders Game. Bring your family, bring your friends, and join the fun as we cheer on our UTSA Roadrunners to victory. Tickets start at just $21. It's our UTSA Roadrunners hosting the Houston Christian Huskies this Saturday in the Dome. Kickoff is at 2:30. Visit GoUTSA.com to secure your seats now. UTSA football. It's more than a game. It's an experience.
Connecticut Quality Water Softeners, they are studs of water softeners, that's for sure. Got one in my house, and I tell you what, it is really a game changer. There's no question about it. I didn't think there would be a difference, but there is. Connecticut is absolutely the best. Look, Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. Their products are made in America, and you know as well as I do, you live in San Antonio and South Texas, boy, a water softener is a must because the water is hard. It can do a lot of damage. And why not have the best? Give them a call at 656-PURE, 656-7873, because when you do that, they're going to put a Connecticut quality water softener in your home for 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. You heard me right. 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. If you don't like it after 90 days, they'll come take it out. You don't owe them a dime. Call Connecticut. You won't regret it. 656-PURE, 656-7873, or ConnecticutSA.com.
Football season is here. Hi, Jason Minix here from The Blitz. You want to have more fun watching football this year? Play the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy. Over 1 million fans got in the game last year by making picks on Underdog. You can join in and win up to 325 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats. I know I made a lot of money last year playing at Underdog Fantasy on the Pick'em game. You too can as well. And it's easy to get signed up. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download their mobile app. Use my promo code STAR and Underdog will give you a highly discounted pick to use on your first Pick'em entry, plus a first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Promo code STAR to claim your new customer offer of a gimme first pick and your deposit offer when you get signed up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or go to ncpgambling.org.
We love high school football and a team you can always count on. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quartermoon is here to tackle the toughest challenges, from plumbing mishaps to AC troubles, with the same dedication and passion that drives a winning touchdown. Our playbook is simple: fair prices, expert service, and a commitment to local families. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, your winning solution for a comfortable home. Proudly serving our community with local hospitality. From the penthouse to the outhouse to the schoolhouse, call Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Bowling Green Falcons, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Boom, boom, boom. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Ha! Da-da-da-da-da. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Did you see what Derek Carr got fined for?
I did see that he got a fine for. Was it because he couldn't dance like Michael, or because he did dance like Michael? What exactly did he do wrong?
He got fined for grabbing grabbing someone's crank.
He did the hee-hee.
But you'd think if it's your own, it's fine.
Apparently not. How much was the fine?
It doesn't say. Oh, no, it does say $14,069. Nice.
So you can't hold your D?
Why wouldn't they just say 14,000 or 15,000? Why would you put 14,069 unless you were trying to make No, that's real. The first time offense for an unsportsmanlike conduct fine is $14,069.
Slow clap for the NFL. Well done.
I see what you did there.
What do we do when they grab their
Raj.
crotch, boss? How about we fine them $69?
$14,069.
Oh, that's not enough. How about $14,069?
That'll
learn them.
Derek Carr said he promised his family he would do a dance by Michael Jackson if he scored a touchdown this year. He said, people don't know a lot of stuff about me. Weddings or birthdays, I'm always dancing.
He's moonwalking.
Said one time I hit the Michael Jackson, and my brothers were like, bro, you have to do that if you score. You think David's going to pay his $14,069 fine?
Of course he is. Because he doesn't get the chance. You don't write that check. That is withdrawn.
That's true.
Your wages are garnished.
No, I was saying, do you think his brother's going to pay it?
No, and the problem is, dude, so you're doing Michael Jackson dances at weddings?
Yeah, apparently so.
All right.
Do you
So
think they do
you're
like,
that guy.
Is it a group dance? Do they all do the Thriller?
I don't know, but I didn't figure the Carr brothers for Michael Jackson dancers. And when you said you were going to do the Michael Jackson dance, we kind of assumed you'd lean over kind of far and moonwalk. We didn't think you'd grab your junk.
Annie, are you okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah, $14,069. Fantasy football, a little too serious sometimes.
There's no such thing.
No?
It's my life's driving passion. I'm either working here or working my fantasy work.
Okay. Well, one guy in Philadelphia, do you have a fantasy nemesis? Like, do you have someone who you're always like, this is the guy you want to beat more than anybody?
Yeah.
I have that too. I have a fantasy baseball nemesis named Matt Dean.
Mine's Lou Jim Bear. I'm coming for you, Lou. If you're listening right now, Lou, I'm coming for you.
One day. Well, this fantasy guy has such a hardcore nemesis, Matthew Gabriel. He's 25 years old. He's from Philly. He falsely accused a fellow player of intending to carry out violent attacks on our nation.
Whoa.
He's now pleaded guilty to 2 counts of interstate and foreign communication of threats after prosecutors say he made false tips to police in the U.S. and overseas, claiming that his rival was planning a bombing and a mass shooting.
Dude.
Gabriel made the first false threat after an online disagreement with a member of his fantasy football chat group. After learning the member would be studying abroad in Norway, Gabriel submitted an anonymous tip to the Norwegian Police Security Service, which investigates threats to the country's national security, claiming he was trying to carry out a mass shooting in Norway. Gabriel wrote that he was headed out around Oslo and has a shooting planned with multiple people on his side involved. They plan to take as many as they can at a concert and then head to a department store.
I think this is above and beyond football.
Law enforcement officers in Norway and the U.S. dedicated 5 days to investigating the threat. Gabriel eventually admitted in an interview with the FBI that he submitted the false tip.
Just to keep the dude from setting his lineup. He didn't really care. He just wanted to make sure he was in custody at the time his lineup needed to be set.
He apologizes to Norway and the subject of the threat.
So he apologized to all of the country? To
Yes.
all Norwegians, either in or outside of the country?
While investigating Gabriel for that threat, prosecutors said they learned that he emailed another fictitious threat to the University of Iowa in March, indicating the same fantasy football group member was threatening to blow up the school. Like, dude, I don't want this guy in the fantasy league anymore. He's out of the league.
Goes above and beyond.
He's out of the league.
Although, if it's over, you know what? I bet it was over. What's his name? The running back from San Francisco, that free agent pickup. If
Jordan Mason.
If anybody got in on that Mason sweepstakes and got 6 weeks of stud running back play and you didn't get there, yeah, I'd be calling in threats to Norway too.
How'd we decide the waiver wire order, huh? Before any games have been played? That's not fair.
It's not right. I'm going to get all of Norway in on this. And Iowa, you're on deck.
You're next.
You're
Bubba.
next.
You are next. Yeah, you're way more serious about fantasy football than I am if you're doing that. If you're calling in bomb threats.
If he loses, he's going to have to get a weird tattoo on his face or something.
Well, on his face is hardcore. I'm still in a league where the loser has to get a tattoo. And I'm headed to 1 and 2 in that league, which is concerning.
Now, the next step would be one of the members of your league gives the tattoo.
Yeah.
Like first place actually puts the tattoo on you.
Oh, no.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know that I want that.
I do.
I don't know that I want that.
I was in Vegas last week at a place where you can get a $10 tat. Would you ever get a $10 tat?
No, thank you.
$10 in and out, right like that. $10.
You know when they say you're kind of throwing money away if you as soon as you buy a boat?
Yeah.
Well, the place to buy a boat is probably not on Craigslist. A fella in Utah.
So, and also, you want to kind of be near water.
Well, there's a Great Salt Lake there.
Do you put boats on there?
Sure.
No.
Yachts?
There's not yachts on the Salt Lake, are there?
I don't see why not.
Do you swim in Salt Lake?
Probably not.
Well, then why would I want to put a boat on it? I'd never thought about boats on Salt Lake. I didn't. Never really.
You know what?
It's kind of like an ocean. I don't know why we wouldn't.
Are there boats in the Great Salt Lake? Let's see. Yes,
Okay.
boats are allowed in the Utah. And yeah.
I mean, they put them on the ocean. I'm not saying it's impossible. I just assume that
Visitors launch sailboats, motorboats, kayaks, paddle boats.
So
many boat tours available.
There you go.
Sightseeing boats. Yeah, oh yeah.
So
This
get a boat in Utah. Okay.
This guy got a yacht. He bought a yacht on Craigslist. And then he spent over $1 million restoring it. And now it has started sinking.
Well, after $1 million,
it was a 293-foot vessel, has 85 cabins, a swimming pool, and a theater. Chris Wilson, a tech entrepreneur.
This is a ship. This is beyond
boat or
yacht.
It's a cruise ship.
Yeah, this is a ship.
Look at this. It's this.
And that's on the Great Salt Lake.
Yeah.
And you could have bought that on Craigslist?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta love the internet.
Will you deliver?
Oh, man. He didn't disclose the original cost of the vessel, but he did say that he was able to work out a really good deal with the owner. He said he immediately fell in love with the ship after discovering a few facts about it. The boat was originally named the Wappen von Hamburg.
I like that.
Built by Germany after World War II, inspired the Love Boat, and was featured in the 1963 film From Russia with Love.
Oh, a Bond movie on top of that.
Yes. So he bought the ship. It spent a year docked and 3 years at San Francisco's Pier 38. He said, I'd gotten quite a ways. I think we had 10 areas solidly restored and refurnished meticulously. He ended up selling the boat in October 23 after locals took issue with the ship. He said these were kind of major areas, so we were pretty proud of that. We were doing a pretty good job. We had marine engineers involved. But apparently it began to sink. He doesn't know who bought it. It began to sink 13 feet of water and discharged pollution. It's been determined the ship has suffered a hole and is taking on water, currently leaking diesel fuel.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what's the name of the boat again?
The Aurora.
What was the German name?
Wappen von Hamburg.
That's the curse. They
Wappen von Hamburg.
The Wappen von Hamburg
to the Aurora. No wonder it sank. You heard its feelings. That stupid new name.
That defines owning a boat,
Aurora.
man. You throw $1 million into
and then
it,
it still sinks.
Still sinking.
That
Still.
sucks, man.
That's why you only have your best friends are friends with boats.
Yeah, you don't want to own a boat yourself. You want your friend to have a boat.
Vic, we're waiting on the boat.
Yeah, Vic.
Oh, no, I'm not getting no boat.
Just get a boat.
Get a boat, Vic.
No.
You like fishing?
Boat stands for bust out another 1,000.
Yeah.
No.
You got it now, Bubba.
I have a friend that busts out another 1,000
There you go.
every 2-3 weeks.
Man, when I met my brother-in-law, he had a 26-foot Donzi, like a speedboat.
Oh,
and we took it from Galveston down to like Port O'Connor, like where my mom lives.
Wow, that's a run.
Oh yeah. Well, we ran out of gas.
Of course.
We'd probably I don't know how many beers we'd had.
Oars?
We'd had a lot of beers.
Did you have oars in the boat?
So we had to wait a while until,
what, like AAA for a boat came by? What do you do when you run out of gas in a boat?
The Coast Guard.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
do you get a
luck.
fine? I imagine you get a bill.
We
for
didn't
that.
get a fine, luckily, but we had to we had to just sit out there stranded for a while and kind of work off some of the beers and do a good job of hiding any cans.
Oh,
and
man.
If you were to buy a boat,
but
what kind would you get? Would you get the Donzi? Would you get a bass boat?
No,
would
I
you
would get
a
that.
pontoon boat?
I would get that like a Donzi that you could pull skiers behind, goes fast as hell. That's all I want.
What are the boats that you go onto the bay and you kind of stand in the middle in this tall little area in the middle of the boat?
Oh, the Bayliner.
Is that a bay? I like the Bayliner look.
Yeah, I like
that's a
those
good looking
too.
boat.
Yeah.
Can you use that anywhere else too? Because I like the idea of standing with that wheel right in the middle of
Yeah,
the
it's
boat.
mainly made for shallow water.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I prefer
Bayliner.
shallow water personally.
Yes, me too.
The deeper, the scarier.
Yeah. Sharks.
And whatnot.
Sharks are still in shallow water, so.
I just like water skiing. Yeah. Well, I don't do it as much now because my knee sucks. But I used to love water skiing.
Now I like dragging people in those boats and making them fly.
Oh, I like that too. Like a tube.
When you try to see how far you can launch them.
Badass, yeah.
Shoot, yeah.
Get one of those boats, Vic.
Yeah, come
All
on.
right. Yeah. All right. I'll go look at boats today.
All right. You buy the boat. I'll pay the docking fee.
I'll bring the beer.
And who's gonna fork over the gas? Edwin?
No, that Rob's gonna do that too.
Oh, okay.
Like we're paying
beer and gas.
You get the boat. Well,
we're paying the lion's share here. Me and you.
We'll handle all the other stuff.
All right.
That sounds good.
But
all right, let's hit the last break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the daily lines right here on the Morning Huddle.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, it is a football Friday, and of course that means we're at a high school football stadium.
Absolutely. Getting ready for the great football weekend. We'll talk Aggies with Andrew Monaco. He will join us at 3:35.
Then we've got John Machota with The Athletic at 5:15 to talk Cowboys football as they get set for the Baltimore Ravens.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. That's progressive.com/careers.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
At the UPS Store, we understand the importance of a first impression. That's why we're here to help you put your best foot forward and be unstoppable with our printing services. With high-quality paper stock options, banners, business cards, menus, and more, we make sure your small business stands out and your message reaches the masses. After all, we're the one-stop prints that pop store. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, prices, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. Come into your local store today and get your print on.
Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas, open to the public 7 days a week with a country club feel. It's football season, so book your tee times early at golfclubtexas.com and stick around and watch the games. Make Golf Club of Texas your football headquarters where you can watch every game. They'll even stay open until the end of every NFL game, including Thursday, Sunday, and Monday nights. Get into the Tin Cup Bar at the Golf Club of Texas, Highway 90 at Briggs Ranch Road. Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Check it out, the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence and camera control for easy access. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. New and existing customers can trade in any phone from one of our top brands in any condition for the new iPhone 16 Pro with Unlimited Ultimate. Trade-in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Something amazing is happening in business. More companies are turning to Mac. From finance to fulfillment, CDW will seamlessly support Mac integration into your organization. With the power of Apple Silicon, best-in-class security, and compatibility across your favorite apps, your team will have the performance they need and the tools they love. Make amazing happen. Mac and CDW. Learn more at cdw.com/Apple.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or e-gift card. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code RADIO for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. That's promo code RADIO.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When I wake up
the best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Hey, Cowboys fans, want to kick off tailgate season with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, Rowdy, and a Dallas Cowboys legend? Stop by the HEB, located in the Brooks Corner Shopping Center at 3323 Southeast Military Drive in San Antonio from 9 a.m. to noon on Saturday, September 28th. You'll even have a chance to enter to win tickets to an upcoming Dallas Cowboys home game, as well as tour the Hall of Fame bus and more. Don't miss out as we roll into town for the Dallas Cowboys tailgate tour presented by HEB.
What's that? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagle, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right, we ain't going to waste much time. We got too many games to look at. Let's go ahead and do what we always do. Take a look at the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
Oh, yes. What a slate we've got in college football. A couple games tonight. We got Syracuse. We got Stanford. Battle of the S's, the big S's. One has a tree, one is orange.
And this is a conference game.
An ACC game. That's
Between
right, baby.
Syracuse and Stanford.
An ACC matchup. Stanford is an 8.5-point dog, and I like Syracuse here. First of all, Kyle McCord does not suck.
No.
It turns out, okay, is he as good as C.J. Stroud? No. And he actually looked pretty good in his first year, and they were like, well, you're not guaranteed the starting job. And he's like, really? Okay, then I'm just leaving. And he went to Syracuse, and, man, he looks good so far. 70% passer, 735 yards, and 8 touchdowns in 2 games so far at Syracuse. And I got to tell you, Stanford is kind of in the same boat as Army, Navy, that they don't play the transfer portal game.
Because you can't transfer, you're not smart enough.
Clemson's the same way. But, yeah, if you don't play the transfer game, it's really easy to like most of it, like the offseason stuff now, it's hard to know how much better or worse you're going to be because you got a bunch of new guys coming in. It's pretty easy to expect that this Stanford team is basically what they were last year, and they were a garbage defense last year, and I think Kyle McCord eats them up. So give me Syracuse minus 8.5.
Hughes had a good win last
Georgia
week.
Tech,
yeah,
maybe.
Taking down Georgia Tech. That was a good, Hughes easy.
And it's Corn, Nebraska. Ranked Nebraska against ranked Illinois. How about that?
How many times Raiola get touched? Talk to me about that. They are going to smoke Illinois.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, man. What's Bielema still at Illinois?
Bielema, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to lose.
Oh, yeah. You don't like Brett Bielema, huh?
And that old style 3 in a cloud of dust, it might have worked in the Illinois and Arkansas and Wisconsin way back when. That doesn't work anymore.
Nebraska, it's Corn, is an 8-point favorite. I think it's going to be an under game. I think it's going to be a grimy game. Total's 43. It's a low number, but that's the way I lean it. And then San Jose State's at Washington State tonight. Total of 55 in that game. Washington State, a 12-point favorite. I lost money betting against Washington State when they played Washington the other day. They're just better than I thought they were going to be. So kudos to them. No conference, no problem for Washington. Although I guess this is a conference game because now, for at least this year, Washington State's playing a Mountain West schedule. Tomorrow, when all the big games happen, Clemson is an 18.5-point favorite against NC State. NC State loses Grayson McCall, no quarterback. I just generally, it's a rule of thumb for me not to lay 18.5 points with a team that I don't trust to score 19 points.
I agree.
So I will not be taking part in Clemson. I don't care who's playing quarterback for NC State. James Madison's at North Carolina. I like James Madison plus 10.5 to hang in this game. I've liked what I've seen out of them so far. I think North Carolina, speaking of teams that have lost their quarterback, I don't think that's really being totally accounted for here. Ohio State back in action. 40-point favorites against We Are Marshall. That will likely be a drubbing.
Yeah, there's no line. That's too big. I don't care who it is.
Although Ohio State did say, or the coach for Marshall said, hey, any of you Ohio State guys looking to transfer, we've got an NIL deal with this biscuit place in town. All the biscuits you can eat if you guys want to come. So he's throwing his recruiting pitch out there.
You're going to have to throw that little QR code on their helmets. So
seriously. Indiana, who's really under Cignetti, has really turned things around. They are a 28.5-point favorite against Charlotte. Charlotte is dog water. I expect Indiana to just smoke them. Pretty decent Big 12 game. Kansas is at West Virginia.
Yeah, there's a bowl game in that.
Country Roads, take me home. One of the toughest places to play in the Big 12.
It's all the burning couches.
Yeah, I haven't seen it out of Kansas. Everybody seems to think they're good, and I don't totally understand it. I mentioned Army earlier. Army hosting Rice, now up to a 7-point favorite.
Oh, I like that so much more. Army plus whatever.
No, Army minus 7 now.
Yeah, -7. It'll be. No, that's easy.
I like Army. Again, I usually don't like to play service academies as favorites, but I think Rice is just dreadful. Total's 43. I think you look at that under as well. Oh my gosh, what if Florida loses to Mississippi State? They're a 6-point favorite at Mississippi State. Is Napier fired on the spot?
I don't think he makes the flight home. I agree, but they're going to beat Mississippi State.
I think so too. I think they're going to make this thing look right. Louisiana, 2.5-point dogs at home against Tulane. I think they're a live dog as well. Let's see, who else do we got that's worth mentioning today? USC, Michigan. I guess that's worth mentioning.
You know, USC is tougher than I thought they were.
They're better defensively than I thought. USC, if you had said this time last year when USC and Michigan play next year, the best unit in the game will be USC's defense,
which would have been the 4th on my list.
Wow. And Michigan is going to this new quarterback. His name's Orgy, and
You said Orgy.
Yeah, I know. It's a $14,069 fine.
Put it in the jar.
But he is not a thrower. He is an athlete. He's a runner. I like under 44 in this game. USC's defense is awesome. Michigan's defense is awesome. Michigan's offense is garbage. Give me the under in this game. I think this is ugly.
I feel Michigan's off kilter, man. It's going to get bad.
Yeah, something's wrong. Arkansas, 2.5-point dog at Auburn. I think Arkansas might beat them outright.
You know, they lost to Oklahoma State. Was that last week or the week before?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago with like 800 yards of offense.
Yeah.
They can move the ball. I like this one.
UCLA's at LSU. 23-point favorites are the Tigers. UCLA stinks. LSU shouldn't be a 23-point favorite over anybody.
I don't understand why this game's being played. Who the hell scheduled this? Who decided for either? I can see why UCLA might want it.
The deciders.
But was this done before they joined the Big Ten?
Yeah.
I don't know why LSU takes the game.
This was probably done when Chip Kelly was still coaching.
I don't know why USC takes the game. It feels like one of those modern conference games. It's not. And this isn't going to be any good for anybody.
No.
Nobody's going to come out of this game looking or feeling good about themselves.
I think LSU's going to win. I don't think they're going to win by 23 points.
I don't think so either.
Vanderbilt's at Missouri. 20-point favorites, the Tigers. Vanderbilt's tough for me, man. I lost with Vanderbilt last week, and I actually like their quarterback, Diego Pavia, the guy transferred from New Mexico State. Good runner, keeps him in games. I think I like Vanderbilt as a big dog here.
I'll tell you, if you watch the Missouri game, they were down late. They turned it around in the second half, but O'Brien had called a good game against them. They're beatable.
Tennessee and Oklahoma. You can now get Tennessee -6.5. Somebody believes in Oklahoma. It ain't me. I think Tennessee is going to drub this team. So I like Tennessee -6.5. I played Tennessee at -7. I know the market is going against me, and maybe I'll have egg on my face, but I think Josh Heupel is going to be so well prepared for this game. I think they are going to put up a big number on this Oklahoma defense that has not been tested yet. Ole Miss plays Georgia Southern. I can tell you how that's going to end. I don't mind laying big numbers with Ole Miss. 36.5 is the number. Lane Kiffin is
there's going to be 100 points scored.
Lane Kiffin is actively looking to get Jackson Dart a Heisman, which means in the fourth quarter, he's still been throwing. I love these coaches that let you know, hey, I'm looking to cover numbers for you, buddy. I'm trying to hurt this other team's feelings. We're trying to put on a show. So give me Ole Miss to blow the doors off Georgia
Southern scores points, too. Grab the over on this, man.
67.5. 67.5.
Put up 42 last week.
Yeah. Purdue at Oregon State. Oregon State a 4.5-point favorite. Kansas State at BYU. Kansas State a 7-point favorite on the road. And the look ahead, by the way, for next week, Texas A&M Arkansas. You got a guess?
A&M favored by 2. 1.5.
A&M favored by 9.
9?
9.
That's going to come back.
You think so?
That's a big number.
That depends on how I think it depends on how Arkansas.
And who's playing quarterback for A&M? That's a big number considering they have no idea who the starter's going to be.
That's true. In the NFL, The Denver Broncos, 6.5-point dogs at Tampa. This is to me, this is a buy low, sell high spot. And do I think Denver's good? No, I don't. I think Denver probably stinks. But do I think Tampa's 6.5 points better than them? No.
I kind of do, man.
Do you?
Baker.
Tampa got outplayed. Like, it wasn't even close. They are so lucky to have won that Detroit game.
Oh, yeah. They're playing a far better
And
team
if they were
Detroit.
1-1, they wouldn't be a 6.5-point favorite. They just beat Detroit, so their numbers inflated.
Look at what he's doing with Evans and Godwin. They're throwing the ball for miles down there. I mean, Baker Mayfield has finally found his happy place.
Cleveland is a 6.5-point favorite hosting the New York Giants. The total in that game is 38.
What an indictment of New York.
And guess what? I like the under. That's a tough number to play under, but God, Daniel Jones, how many points is he going to score against the Browns defense? I'm guessing like 6.
I wonder what his yards per completion will look like on Monday.
It's going to be awful.
Under a yard.
Eagles at the Saints. Saints now a 3-point favorite at home. I mean, this is a 6-point line move, basically. I can't get there. I like the Eagles as a road dog.
Yeah.
I love the Chargers as a road dog this weekend. Plus 1.5 at Pittsburgh. I don't believe in Pittsburgh at all. I don't think Pittsburgh is going to score. I think Pittsburgh is actively trying to play games that with the final score of 13-10.
I think Harbaugh is too.
I do too. The total in this game is 36. 36. And again, I like the under.
This game's going to be over in 2 hours. It'll be actually the shortest game of the season.
Vikings, 2-point home dogs to the Texans. We mentioned that earlier. Total of 46. I like the Vikings here. I think the Vikings are better than people think they are.
You're taking a lot of roadies on this.
They're a home
all
team.
the dogs you're jumping on
I'm
this?
taking dogs. Yeah. Well, I'm a dog player. That's what I usually look for. Tennessee is hosting Green Bay. Tennessee minus 2.5. I am a sucker. 2 times I've bet on Tennessee. 2 times I felt like I had the right side. I was winning, and Will Levis found a way to blow it. Those 2 games, the exact same final score. It literally felt like Groundhog Day. I'm an idiot. I'm going to do it again. Give me the Titans to beat the Packers.
Who's the backup? Who's Levis's backup? Mason Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph, yeah.
Do you think we're going to see a Rudolph sighting? No?
No. I think they're committed to him, and they've played well enough to win these games. He's so dumb.
If he fumbles again, if he fumbles the ball again, he will not finish the game.
You might be right. Bears are at the Colts. Colts 1.5-point favorites at home. I think maybe the Colts are a little bit better than I thought. I'm not a Bears believer. So
Colts are deep. Colts have talent.
I think I like the Colts here. Panthers +5 at the Raiders. My gut, my numbers, everything I know about being a bettor makes me think I should take the Panthers.
No,
I'm not going to do it.
This team.
But Andy Dalton has got to be. How much of an upgrade are they making?
I don't care.
Dolphins at the Seahawks. Seahawks 4.5-point favorites at home. I think again this is ugly. If you okay backing a backup quarterback, 4.5 points is a lot. I don't know that I trust Seattle that much.
I don't either. And I have McDonald one game. He's a hell of a coach. He might be able to coach his way into one on the road.
San Francisco -6.5 at the Rams. God, the Rams are just a mash unit. And Kyle Shanahan is, I think he might literally be Sean McVay's dad.
Well, dude.
He just owns him. So even on the road, I could only look at the 49ers here.
They got embarrassed last week.
49ers
Rams got embarrassed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Teams that react to embarrassment normally with a solid game, I expect them to put it on the Rams this week.
Lions, full 3-point favorites at Arizona. Give me the Cardinals.
My favorite game
if I'm catching a full field goal. Total in that game, 51.5.
Of all the games, I know the Cowboys and the Ravens have something, and I know that the Philly game matters. We got AFC, NFC, but as far as fun games, this is it for me.
And then Ravens are at the Cowboys. 1-point road favorites are the Ravens, 47.5. I think the Ravens win this weekend.
I do too.
And finally, Kansas City's at Atlanta. Kansas City, a 3-point road favorite. Mahomes does not cover big numbers usually. Usually it's outside of a field goal he doesn't cover. Now it's down to a field goal. I think the hype on Atlanta might be getting a little out of control here.
Atlanta, I like what's going on. I think that Kansas City is riding lucky right now.
Well, they're riding lucky against the Ravens and the Bengals.
They're riding lucky.
Do you think that Atlanta's in the class?
After what I saw them do to Philadelphia in 1 minute and 38 seconds, that's a team that's starting to believe in themselves. I'm just saying, look out. I think Atlanta might be able to uncork one this week.
Jamison Tyone and the Cubs, -170 favorites against the Nationals. Mitch Keller going for the Pirates. Nick Martinez for the Reds. Reds -120. Rays send Tyler Alexander against the Blue Jays and Jose Barrios. That's a pick'em. Corbin Burns for the Orioles, -175, hosting the Tigers. Charlie F. and Morton, -205 on the road at Miami, coming off a game where they just gave up 20 runs. Valente Belozo goes for the Marlins. Christopher Sanchez for the Phillies at New York, -115 are the Mets. David Festa, I like that name, -120 at Boston. Richard Fitz going for the Bo Sox. George Kirby and Jacob deGrom. Pretty good pitching matchup in Arlington tonight. The Rangers -120 favorites over the Mariners. Tyler Anderson and Justin Verlander will go in Houston. Stros -270 favorites over the Angels. Mason Black for the Giants. Michael Waka Waka goes for the Royals. Royals -165. Zach Gallen for Arizona, -125 at Milwaukee with Colin Ray. And Kyle Gibson, -115 favorite, hosting the Guardians with Ben Lively. Garrett Cole goes for the Yanks. They're -200 favorites in Oakland. Garrett Crochet and Joe Musgrove, another good pitching matchup between the White Sox and the Padres. Padres, though, a -260 favorite.
The juggernauts that are the Sox.
And now the Dodgers get a sigh of relief after that really tough matchup last night against the Marlins. They get to go home and see Kyle Freeland and the Rockies. The Dodgers -250 favorites.
It's a hit reverse. The Marlins have a pitcher named Belozo.
Belozo.
So Bozo didn't pitch last night?
No. Well, Bozo did pitch.
Oh, okay.
But it was a different kind of
Bozo. All right.
Different Bozo. All right, boys. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the football.
Onward and upward.
Vic, love you, man.
Love you too, man.
Glad you went and picked up that poop that happened at your wife's store. That was nice of you. You're a good husband. We'll see you guys on Monday. The Blitz comes up at 2.
At a football stadium.
A secret location. We'll see you Monday at 6.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle.